Good evening and welcome to the Under-18 T20 Female National Championships final between the ACT, New South Wales Country and Queensland, live from Blundstone Arena in Hobart. My name is Tubes Taylor and I will be walking you through today's match along with a lovely lady sitting to my right. Welcome, Julia Price.
Hi, how are you, Tubes?
I'm really good. A little bit of rain around Hobart earlier today.
Yeah, I was a little concerned that this wouldn't go ahead.
Oh, you didn't have faith in the weather gods here in Hobart?
And for good reason, I think.
Yeah, well, we've had a little bit of rain here today, as we say. We're managing to hold out. A few clouds around, as you can see on screen, but we're in for a very entertaining match nonetheless. There, the Queensland girls are led by their captain, Charlie Knott, who's the number one out there, just giving them the final pep talk. We had the coin toss a little earlier, Julia, and so we'll cross to that right now and see what happened. All right, it's the Under-18 National T20 Championships. It's the final here today. We've got Charlie Knott from Queensland and Grace Dignam from the ACT, New South Wales Country. And it's your home game, Grace. So, Charlie, it's your call. Heads is the call.
Tail.
Tails it is. What are you going to do, Grace?
We'll like a bat, thank you.
Is there any reason why you're going to have a bat?
We'd like to put on a good total for Queensland to chase.
Brilliant. All right. And Charlie, how do you feel about having a bowl first?
Yeah, definitely. I think our team is pretty comfortable no matter what the situation, so I think we'll be ready for a good game.
All right, there we go. The ACT New South Wales Country have won the toss and have elected to have a bat. So, as I said there, Julia, the ACT New South Wales Country won the toss and elected to bat. How do you see the conditions out here coming into play for the match?
Well, I think the rain's all gone, so I don't think it really matters there. Normally you'd sort of bowl first, so if there's a bit of rain around, in case you have to, they're adjusted totals and they a little bit easier to chase down with the bat, but I don't mind the idea of batting first, getting a good total on the board and seeing what pressure they can put Queensland under early. And I have to say, Grace Dignam was very happy with the call. She was quite chuffed that she got to bat first, win that toss.
Yeah, she was. She was. So it looks like Jess Davidson heading out with Annika Leroy to open the batting. There are our umpires, Lisa McCabe and Andrew Hamilton, who will be officiating today's match. The pitch was used last night in the Cricket Tasmania Premier League T20 Grand Final, but I had a quick look out there early and it seems to have held up pretty well.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty good pitch out here. I mean, and this is going to be such an amazing experience for a lot of these girls. They wouldn't have played on a first-class pitch before, I wouldn't have imagined. And Blundstone Arena's, they've done a great job of keeping it ready to go today, particularly with all that weather around. So this should be an absolute cracker of a game. And no doubt very exciting for these girls.
Absolutely, and we were talking a little earlier about how these two teams have won every match in their pool. However, the semi-finals this morning were washed out. So, playing their first game of cricket for the day today as we're watching it.
Yeah, well, I've only been home a day, and this morning I woke up and I thought I was still in Queensland with the big cracks of lightning and thunder around, which I don't think I've been here in Tasmania nearly 6 years and I don't ever recall a thunderstorm like that. It was very tropical.
I do like the thunderstorms. It looks like we've got Ruth Johnson to open the bowling from Queensland. So she's a right arm orthodox bowler according to the program.
No, she definitely is. I've seen Ruth before actually, and a big hitter as well. So interesting they're opening with her, but because she probably is one of their more solid bowlers. Normally, it's sort of maybe sometimes start with someone you can stretch early.
Nice one to start with. It's in the air and just short of the fielder at mid-off.
Very attacking start there from Davidson, trying to go over top straight away, but fortunately didn't quite get the ball to mid-off on the full.
Johnson in again and slashed away. This one, they'll get through for one. A chance at the bowler's end. It's a hard throw, but it misses the stumps. And a little collision there between the two players.
Yeah, Ruth Johnston's managed to get in the way there. She's, I think she's from Toowoomba from memory, and she's a good farm girl, and you wouldn't be running into her. She's going to be a strong girl as well. But yeah, gets some good flight on the ball. You can see she gets a little bit of rip. Not too much turn in this pitch at this stage.
Johnson into Leroy to face her first ball. A wide one, slashed away, and it goes out past the fielder at point. Nice fielding down there on the boundary. They get through for a couple.
Yes, and we've got an interesting field set here for the off spinner. Normally you'd assume that they'll be going more leg side, but they've really set quite a wide sort of straight sweeper on the offside. Generally, you'd think she's going to have to be turning it a fair bit for that to come into play.
Leroy on strike, goes back. That's a good recovery ball there from Johnson.
Yeah, so well watched. Leroy's had a fantastic tournament so far, leading the stats at this stage. Annika's 158 runs at 52.67, going at 112. So she's been really good for ACT New South Wales Country.
Queensland, of course, won the competition last year, so they're looking to go back to back. It's a pretty solid tournament from Leroy.
Yeah, 78 off 64 versus the CA11.
Nothing too shabby. That one's got a little wide one. A big shout there. No, nothing doing it. End of the over. So just the 3 from it. A good start from the Queenslanders.
Yeah, great start. That's exactly what they'll be after. A few little sort of chances there. I think a few little nerves from New South Wales, ACT New South Wales Country. We need to somehow shorten that. What can we do? I don't think there's anything we can do.
I've been thinking about it all afternoon, to be honest, Julia. I can't shorten it at all. And they were very adamant to make sure that the ACT went first, of course.
Of course.
Quite a few of these girls are from around that area. Looks like Julia Kavanagh will be next in for the Queenslanders to bowl. Just with her left armers.
They've got a good variety of bowling attack, the Queenslanders. Their batting attack, not quite so much, just the one left-hander.
A big one hit hard through the onside. Trying to race up the hill a little bit here, and terrific fielding down there by the Queenslanders. Great chase by Ellie Johnson, and a nice throw too.
Yeah, good support also there from the Queenslanders. You can see they're pretty well drilled. They've got a couple of extra chases there as well to support the fielder if she needs to dive, getting close to that boundary. Obviously, been watching the WBBL and BBL probably this year and learning from watching and what they need to do in the field.
It's a terrific contest this year in the WBBL. And she comes again, a high one there for Kavanagh. It's right up in the air, 2 fielders underneath it, and a great catch. Good talk down there in the field.
It's Charlie Knott, the captain. She's not going to miss those. She's renowned for her excellent fielding thus while she's in the covers, but great work there from her. Called out fairly early, called out the other fielder so that she didn't have any sort of collision, but Davidson has been removed for 3 off the bowling of Kavanagh. Or Kavanagh, we're going to go 1 each on that one. But
hedge our bets.
Yeah.
Great catch, good talk there as well in the field. As you say, Charlie Knott hopping underneath that one, and Davidson departs for 3 off 4 balls. So a good start for the Queenslanders. ACT are 1 for 5. And that brings out Alicia Bates to the crease.
Yeah, they've been toying around with their order a little bit, and it's good to have that flexibility for the ACT New South Wales Country.
Kevin Owen again, and a wideish one, but it's slashed away and straight to the fielder at point. Well played and well picked up in the field.
And Alicia Bates had opened the batting in a couple of the round games as well, so dropped down to 3. And they promoted Leroy and Davidson to that top order. Just a little bit more attacking. Kayla Burton obviously has also opened the batting. She'll be coming in soon, no doubt.
Kavanagh in again. This one will be wide.
And just a little bit off with her lines there. First over for her as well. There's probably a little bit of nerves around for the bowlers and as well as the bats. Interesting field again. Obviously, you would assume she's not going to get too much swing back into that batter with the deep third and a cover sweeper out.
That's a good shot. They won't get a run though. Straight to the fielder there, Ellie Johnson. No run. So pressure back on now to the ACT. They're 1 for 6. 2 balls left in the second over.
I seem to be averaging around 130 for most of the games in this tournament. I'm not sure here at Blundstone whether they'll be able to get that many. Particularly with that little bit of rain around, you know, it's made the ground a little bit heavier. It's going to run slower over the ground. Quite a big ground as well. But really good over here from Julia Kavanagh at the moment. Following some nice tight lines, making it difficult for the batter to get out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. She's certainly come back after that wide. It's gone 2 wicket, dot ball wide, dot, dot. In she comes again. That one's slashed away at, and they squeeze through for 1. And well backed up as well. Queensland, as you say, Julia, very well drilled in the field. They had 2 people backing up there. So after the first over, they're 1 for 7. Just the 4 runs from it.
Yeah, well, it's a nice tight start. That's definitely what you'd want. It looks like that Johnston's going to continue from the, what are we calling that, Church Street end?
Church Street, yeah. Johnson into Leroy, and great fielding again. So you've been jet setting around the country a bit, haven't you?
A little bit, yeah. It's been good fun though. It's good to see lots of cricket happening around.
I was going to say, taking in plenty of cricket too. Johnson into Leroy and driven and get through for 1. That's good running between the wickets.
Yeah, she's a good attacking back. Annika Leroy. You can see she does drop her head a little bit, which obviously is something she's going to have to work on the more she plays and gets into senior cricket. But generally knows what her game is. You can see that as soon as she's hit it to the left or right of that mid-on or mid-off, she takes off pretty quickly. Quick between the wickets, good awareness. Yeah, good cricket brain on her.
What do they call these things that go over the pads?
Call them clads.
Clads. Mm. It's good, isn't it?
It is a great idea.
It's a brilliant
Certainly
idea.
saves parents buying lots of different colour pads.
Yeah.
You can get them for your helmets as well.
Yeah. It's brilliant. Johnson into Bates to face her first ball and defends. No run.
So again, good to have a left-hander out there. Just to change up the bowlers' lines.
Yeah.
Make it difficult, make them keep thinking in the field as well.
That one's a fuller one, but it's not dispatched, and no run again. So Johnson will be pretty happy with this over so far.
Yeah, absolutely. She's bowling some good areas. You can see that she's got some good plans to both the left and right-handers. No doubt the coaches have been working hard.
Oh, and it's chopped on. Bates is gone. Hits it onto her stumps, and she departs for naught. ACT in trouble at 2 for 8.
Yeah, just a little inside edge there from Bates. The ball didn't quite move as much as she was thinking it might. She was assuming that it was going to go away, being an off-spinner, and go away from the left-hander, but she's just managed to catch a little under edge that's ploughed straight into her off-stump. So disappointing for Alicia Bates. She's had a pretty good carnival with the bat. She's out without scoring.
One just didn't spin at all. It went straight on. And the underside of the bat does the damage and pushes it onto the stumps, which brings out Kayla Burton.
Yeah, Kayla Burton opened in the first game, then came in at 3 against New South Wales Metro. It's sort of been getting around the 20. She's been going reasonably well, but yeah, she'll be looking for a big score today to sort of try and stay out there with Annika Leroy.
Well, the pressure's on now, isn't it? At 2 for 8, with 1 ball left in the third over. These two just really need to knuckle down and stay out there. Put a bit of a total on the board. See if they can get out and defend. Johnson in for the last ball of her over. That one's full and left outside off stump. So at the end of the third, ACT 2 for 8.
And Ruth Johnson, being nice and tall, she can get that additional bounce, which she probably didn't get on that last wicket anyway, from the dismissed Alicia Bates. But a little bit of variable turn, a little bit of variable bounce, and I think that's going to be very helpful for the Queenslanders bowling first. I don't know how much that will change in the T20 innings. They don't generally change too much, but sun's sort of out. It sort of might be drying out the pitch and the conditions a little bit. It might work in the favour of the Queenslanders here.
So Kavanagh, we're hedging our bets there. Steams in from the river end. Leroy just works that one to the onside. No run. Ball seems to keep going to the field, and every time that happens, the pressure builds on the batters.
Yeah, this is where they just need to sort of start looking about where they're going to get their singles, what's their plan in their head. So there's got to be boundaries, particularly when it's a power play. They've only got 2 back, so where's their 4 ball, but how can they, in between those balls, start rotating the strike and just taking that pressure off?
In this format of the game, it's really important as Kavanagh digs in, no run.
So it's interesting, even on that sort of shot, she's not looking behind the wicket, where she could quite easily, no slip, a little bit wide of the off stump, going across it, just work that down to that 3rd man, and that's going to come with time. But she really wants to hit forward of the wicket and really, and that's not obviously her normal game. But once the field's gone back, that's when she'll be able to get the singles. But for the moment, she needs to start rotating, finding where those singles are in between those 4 balls.
Kavanagh onside again, no run. So great piece of bowling from everyone involved at the Queensland cricket team. Everyone's on edge, aren't they? They're on their toes, and
so well, Mark Sorrell is their coach. So he coached the 2005 Women's World Cup winning team.
Right.
So actually no, he didn't. Sorry, Steve Jenkins did that. Sorry, Steve, I've just taken that
just
title
handed
off
off to
Sorry.
Mozzarella.
Yep, sorry.
Leroy just forces that one to the onside, and again no run.
Actually, Mark Sorrell took away the Ashes team that year in 2005, so
Right.
he took that for the Australian team then. So obviously a fantastic coach working with the girls. You've got Troy McKinnon also working with the ACT New South Wales Country girls, so some really good quality coaches applying their trade with these young cricketers.
Yep. Leroy forward and smashes that one, but it goes straight to the fielder at mid-wicket. Well picked up there by Georgia Volt. And you can tell that Leroy's getting a little frustrated now. Only 4 runs off 15 balls. She's hitting them well, Julia, but they're going straight to the fielders.
Yeah, so that's where she's just got to start working on a plan. Like to me, she should be coming out of her crease a little, trying to change up things with the wicketkeeper back. Just try and change something.
She's moved up a little bit there, as we can see on screen. Kavanagh, a fuller ball, but again straight to the fielder. A maiden over there in T20 cricket is worth its weight in gold, and high fives all round from the Maroons.
Yep, that is unheard of just about in a T20 game. So well bowled by Julia Kavanagh. We'll get that right soon. We need someone from Queensland to ring us.
You know what? Yeah, what will happen is we'll stop talking about it.
Yeah, true. Well, she might get taken off now. But yeah, 2 for 8 after 4. Perfect start for the Queenslanders. Ruth Johnston's going to continue 3 overs in the power play.
Wow.
Why wouldn't you at 2 for 8?
Absolutely, she's bowling beautifully. Burton on strike to face her second ball, just forced away on the offside. Just happy to occupy the crease at the moment, the ACT.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been the plan. They're probably not used to being in this situation. Obviously, they won 4-0 in their pool.
Now they've got to run. Happy with that, as you said. Just runs that one down to 3rd man, and they get a couple. Again, good backing up.
Yeah, it was probably just caught the outside edge a little bit there, but at the same time, it can remind you of where your gaps are and where your space is. So you can take advantage of a few little false shots every now and then.
Burton's off the mark. Wide again, and that one's a genuine nick. And this one races down the hill, down the river. Good chase down here by the Queenslanders, and well fielded. They'll get back for a 3rd chance at the bowler's end. No, they go to the wicketkeeper. Well run 3.
Yeah, great running there from Leroy. Got herself back on. She knows that she's the senior bat here, even though Kayla Burton has sort of opened this tournament already. But she knows she's been out there for a while. She's got to take this pressure on. It's great to see that she's doing that.
A little bit of talk here while they fix up the stumps. Johnson's just asked the backwards point to move to a more truer point position.
So I'd probably nearly say it should be the other way around. They should be taking it just slightly behind the wicket. Just lessens that space behind the wicket.
Leroy on strike this time and works it to the onside. No run. Another dot ball.
With the player out there that's sweeper cover, they've got plenty of options out there. They're going to go for one anyway. So if you just pull it this way, you're not giving away a boundary, and you're pulling your backward point behind the wicket, which potentially may cut off the boundary.
And that one's through. Called for a stumping and not out.
Tell you what, I reckon that was a lot closer than everyone thought it was.
I was about to say the exact same thing. That was a big swing. We'll take another look at the replay from side on. This camera is just a little bit forward of... Oh, gee, it was touch and go, wasn't it?
We do.
Good keeping there by Caitlin Muir. Gee, I'm having...
A mare.
I'm having a mare, aren't I? Johnson.
So to me, you just can't... You can see that they haven't really got their plan clear in their head about how they're going to play it. She came down the wicket before, approached down the wicket, and then tried to play across the line. That's rule number one. You don't come advancing down the wicket and then play a horizontal bat shot, really. And nearly got herself out on it. And then even that ball, there was a little bit more turn from Ruth Johnson, bowling beautifully, 1 for 9 off her 3 overs. But yeah, isn't really sure how she's going to play those slightly sort of back of length balls. She hasn't worked out how to score off those quite yet. But we do have a bowling change now.
Yes.
For the Queenslanders. I'm not sure who it is. Can't see from here. That's my eyesight. I think it looks like
Roche. Olivia Roche.
Yep, and that'd be Roach.
Roach.
I don't know if that's Queensland or Tasmania, but we say Roach in Queensland.
Roach, okay.
As in Tony.
Right, okay, fair enough. I'm a thick Tasmanian accent down here, Julia. Still claiming to be a Queenslander, are you?
Well, yeah, I can't help it, really.
That's a better shot. Just a little too short there from Roach. And it races away to the boundary. Good shot by Burton.
Yeah, so the first four for ACT New South Wales Country comes in the last over of the power play. Haven't really been able to take advantage of just the 2 fielders out, but that was very, very short. And they're immediately responding by putting a fielder out there, which is interesting, because I would say that was probably not the plan for her to bowl that short.
Now that's a reactive move, isn't it?
Very much so, yeah.
Roach in again. That one's wide. Not played away. No run.
So she got 2 for 19 versus Victoria Metro, Olivia Roach, and so obviously he's bowled quite well, just not getting a length right at the moment. Just Charlie not coming up to her now to have a quick chat to her, just to no doubt tell her just maybe in the batter's side of the pitch would be good.
Burton's on strike. That one's short. It's played uppishly, but it lands safe. They'll get back for a couple here. And again, well backed up by the captain, Charlie Knott.
Yeah, excellent running between wickets too.
Yeah, that one crept up on Burton there, Kayla. She probably wasn't expecting it to get onto her that quickly, so maybe a little bit more effort put in there by Roach. Wide, slapped away, well fielded at cover. They get through for 1.
Yeah, just sort of collapses at the crease a little bit, which you find in a lot of these underage carnivals. A lot of the girls are still developing. They're getting their strength, understanding how their bodies are working as they're growing. A lot of them probably still got a fair bit of growing to do. So once those strength and conditioning programs start kicking in, she's obviously got some good pace. Just needs to be a little stronger through the crease. Stay a bit taller as she's delivering the ball. She's got the Holly Furling ribbon in, which is good to see. Queensland, another fast bowler from Queensland.
That one's worked away to the onside, a good shot, and it races up the hill for 4. So Leroy releases the pressure a little bit there with a nice shot to the onside.
You can sort of see that why they put that person back straight away. Maybe there's a tendency for her to bowl a little bit short, but I don't know if they're going to need that deep third. I'd probably be suggesting a fine leg and potentially keeping back that cow.
It's a fuller ball and it's worked to the onside, to what Julia Price just called the cow. The cow out there in the field. So that is the end of the 6th over. ACT 2 for 25 at the end of the power play. And I think
that's a good recovery too for them, considering they were 2 for 13 with just the 1 over to go left in that power play. So they've really capitalised on that over from Olivia Roach. 12 off it. Okay, so Charlie Knott is coming on now from the Church Street end. She's another little off spinner, obviously favouring that end at this stage. And a very good bat, Charlie Knott, so we'll be looking forward to seeing her bat soon too. So a little bit of shape there from Charlie. A little bit of drift and a little bit of turn off the wicket. Very nice. There must be a little bit of a breeze out there. No doubt the off spinners wanting that end.
Yeah, a little bit of breeze coming towards the camera as we're looking at it here. Away from the camera now.
So Burton uses her feet. Well, actually, I think that was Leroy. Uses her feet, comes down the wicket and hits it out to the fielder out at straight mid-wicket. I don't know, or cow, I would like to call it.
I like that. A cow in the field. Cow corner,
cow
of course.
Cow corner, of course.
Yeah. It's good running. There was a chance at the bowler's end.
Yeah, excellent work there. From just got a little offline with her bowling there. Charlie Knott. A little bit leg side-ish, but the batters were quick enough between wickets. Good feet again, and a little misfield as well. Allows the ACT New South Wales Country girls to get through for a single, but really nice drift. I'm really happy with the way that Charlie's got this flight and a little bit of drift.
She's the captain of the side too, and I think coming on after the power play is a bold move as an off spinner. But as you say, probably from the top end there, the boundary's a little bit shorter on the leg side here.
Nice.
A little bit. Sorry, the pitch that we're playing on is pitch number 4 or 5. So we're a little bit closer to the offside for the batter here.
Not too much turn there at all, but a great over there from Charlie Knott. First over, none for 3 for her. And the score is 2 for 28 after 7 overs for ACT New South Wales Country.
Looks like we've got to change bowler again from this river end. Ruby Strange will be coming on. Just the ponytails jumping in the way of the numbers there for us. Julia makes it hard, even if her eyes are spot on. Strange to Leroy.
Should be nearly compulsory to have a certain hair length.
No,
must only touch the collar, otherwise it needs to be out of the way.
That would have happened perhaps at my Catholic school on the northwest coast of sunny Tasmania.
So from memory, I think Ruby Strange was actually in the CA11, a few years ago as a youngster. So good to see that she's in the senior Queensland team, or under 18 senior team. I suppose it's senior compared to the CA11, 15, yeah. So good to see that she's still involved and obviously bowling well, getting some good shape here from the Derwent River end. Is that what we call this end?
The river end, yeah.
Beautiful.
Southern end. Gee, that's a good shot. Sweeper's out there though. Picks it up, they get back for 2 and they'll have to hurry. It's close.
Yeah, well, that's very good running there from Leroy. She's not only attacking with the bat, but also running between wickets. And that was a pretty close one. I wouldn't be, if we had the review on that, I'd be interested to see how close she was to the line. But, oh, and we're going to have a look as well. Oh, well done. No, and good decision there by the umpire. Interesting glove work from Muir there.
Yeah, she
chose to turn the gloves around. I think she's been getting a few odd bounces, I think, into her today.
Right. That'll be a wide. The women's game's come a long way, hasn't it? Cricket. It's so good to see, and the development in comparison to perhaps your day, Julia. That one smacked straight to the player, and there's a chance. Gee, the mid-on, good throw. It would have been touch and go. How have you seen that, do you think, Julia?
Yeah, no, I agree completely. But with the amount of resources and put into the game now, and
the equality.
I suppose we don't want to throw away around the equality word, but yeah, definitely. I mean, they're getting access to it. I mean, the fact that these under-18 girls are able to play on Blundstone Arena, I mean, the women certainly weren't doing that. I remember it's a direct hit, but it's going to be an overthrow. No, and they're not running on that. I think they're just happy that they weren't given out. So a leg by there.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the access to the facilities and the resources that are getting poured into the game now. I mean, it was always going to develop, but whether those should have been pushed into the game a little sooner is probably
of course.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. But we can see the benefit of it now. Like the cricket is just growing and growing all the time.
Strange to Leroy. And that one's hit hard, and it's just maybe a chance there as they come back for a couple. I think that if there's any sporting fraternity that's pushing it hardest, it's probably cricket.
Yeah, definitely. And it's come right from the top, which is what it needed to do. There were a lot of that was a unlucky chance there, but Queensland will be ruining that because Leroy has been starting to really push it along a little bit now. But yeah, the game, definitely needed to have this happen, and it's pleasing to see. Like both boys and girls are coming out to both the men's and women's games and seeing cricket, not seeing who's playing. Whether it's a male or female. That is like it's cricketers.
I love it. It's not continues. There's a chance here. No, shout a catch. Nothing happening. As the father of a young daughter, it makes me very, very happy to see that happening in this great game.
Yeah, no doubt. James Sutherland's fairly happy too that he's invested all this money or pushed the CA to start investing in the game, and now his daughter's been selected in the World T20 squad for this year, which is very exciting for her, no doubt.
Stepping up, and then that shot through the point area. So is that what you're talking about, that shot there, where they come forward and then they're playing across bat?
Yep.
They need to be going forward and playing through the V.
Yep. And that one she just decided late that she was going to do it. So she did it. She probably committed firstly to the front foot, but was able to sit back on, a bit like that one, and be able to sit back onto the back foot, as opposed to coming right out of your wicket crease. Once you've come right out, you need to just get something on it. You can't start playing across the line of the ball. It's a very difficult shot. So they're really starting to work it around a fair bit now.
It's a confidence thing, isn't it? They've got their eye and they're set a little bit more here, and now that momentum's swinging. Probably still with Queensland at 2 for 39, but that confidence of Burton and Leroy at the moment at the crease, you can see that improving.
Yep, absolutely.
The longer they stay out there, they're starting to rotate that strike, pushing for ones and twos. It's a good ball from Knott again.
Yep, another good over from her.
Just the 4 from it. 2 for 39 after 9.
So none for 7 off her 2 overs for Charlie Knott. She's the leading wicket taker for Queensland at this stage, with 6 wickets for the Carnival, going at only 3.75 economy.
Yeah, wow.
So great work from her.
How about this? The mega wall. Just looking out across the Derwent Estuary on your right-hand side there for those streaming across YouTube, Facebook and the Cricket Australia website. That's the Derwent River we're looking at. As we see Ruby Strange continuing from the river end, and that's a good drive. It'll take a bit of stopping too, because she got a fair piece of it and it races away.
It's not a bad ball from Ruby Strange, probably just slightly over-pitched. I think Leroy has started to come out of her wicket a little bit, just so that she can get this either on the full or the half volley, and she does hit it quite powerfully as well, and too good for... Yep, just got that on the full, and too good for mid-off. He just dived over the top of it, unfortunately.
Just hit well, wasn't it?
Very well.
Bang again, nice shot, but there's a fielder out there. Scooped up by Roach.
You can see Annika Leroy really likes to release her arms and get some freedom with her arms. So you've got to keep a nice tight line to her, even though the ball before was hit for a 4, but you can tend to maybe just straighten up your mid-off a little bit there, or mid-on a little bit, I think.
Strange with a nice fuller one, and well fielded. Wow. That was sharp stuff down there by Georgia Volt at mid-wicket. Just instinctive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just put the mitts out there and jumped up. That one's hit hard, just through the fingertips of Ruby Strange, and goes for 4.
Yeah,
So
I think that surprised Ruby Strange. Came back a little quicker than she was expecting. Very catchable, but also very hard.
yeah. They're not often caught, are they, when they're hit back that hard? Gee, she did well to get a scone out of the way, really, didn't she?
Absolutely.
Just get a few fingers on it, but 4 runs. So Burton getting in on the boundary action. Back live. That one squirted away to that deep cover position. How about the arm out there on that player? Wow, that was rocked back.
Standing. A few little misfields coming in at the moment, creeping in. It is pretty cool out there. Might be getting a little stingy on the fingers. It was 12 degrees when we first rocked up at the ground, so it's not going to get warmer.
Strange with a wide, and that'll go away. May get to the boundary. Does 4 wide, so
just
a little bit of freebie there for the ACT New South Wales Country.
Yeah, a little lack of footwork there from Muir. Just threw the glove out and wasn't able to take the ball. She's kept quite well up to the stumps, I thought, so far, though.
I think her glove work's been pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah. That out at deep cover, that's Grace Parsons with the rocket arm. You wouldn't want to run 3 on her arm, I don't reckon. That's a fuller one, and it's hit straight back at the stumps. A chance there for potentially a run out. They just sneaked through for 1 in the end.
It's the end of the over.
An expensive one there with 16 from it, 2 for 55. And look at this. This is flying in across the Derwent Estuary.
This is how I came in today.
This is a little bit of... It flew in by
helicopter.
drone.
Yeah,
oh, right, helicopter, right. That's looking at Blundstone Arena. The wonderful Bell Reeve in the background.
Yeah, it's a beautiful ground.
How about that?
And the setting is fantastic. I know we used to make the girls go out for their ice bath recoveries before it all got renovated out in the Derwent, so there's only one stingray they saw.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Some good seafood in that bay. It's Charlie not continuing.
So long as the seafood, we're eating it, not them eating us.
That's right. How long have you lived down here?
6 years.
Wow. Paradise. Not. And catches the edge, no slip, no third man in at all. And it's a good chase. Oh, well fielded down there by Roach. Brilliant stuff. Saved a run for sure.
Yeah, and excellent support also from the I think it was the...
Kira Holmes, I think it was.
Yes, it was, thank you.
This game's come so far, hasn't it? The game of cricket, I mean, how important fielding is to everyone. As that one's a fuller one, there's a big shout. The umpire moved his hand a little bit there.
Might have had a bit of a nose scratch again.
Andrew Hamilton just gave the thumbs up to the square leg umpire, Lisa McCabe. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh, maybe just down the offside. Back live now. They squirt one through. There's a chance. Good throw. But how much emphasis they're putting on fielding these days, running between wickets, all that stuff in the mid-90s when I was playing cricket. Didn't matter.
No.
It was not even looked at.
No.
You get a bowl and a bat and that was it.
Yeah.
Not into Burton. And another edge. They've moved that short third man in. It's a good move field-wise.
Definitely, yeah. But the fitness of all the players has improved in both male and female.
Yeah.
It's such a focus now. One, for injury prevention, but also because it actually assists with your performance as well.
Absolutely.
And that may be the difference. Good shot there.
Watch this rocket arm out here of Grace Parsons. One bounce in. How good is that?
That is good. You're not running on that.
No.
Another good over there from Charlie Knott as well. She's just 6 off that over, keeping her economy rate nice and tight. None for 13 off her 3 overs. Good captain bowling at the moment. I think they'll be happy with 2 for 61 after 11, I think it is. Yep. But yeah, the fitness programs are definitely assisting with, and when it comes to selections of teams, you know, it might be the difference between you and someone else purely on your fitness alone or your fielding alone. You can't just have one skill anymore. It's nearly, you've got to have at minimum 2, whether you're a bat and a fielder or a bat and bowler or a bowler and fielder. You've got to be able to do at least 2 of the 3 skills.
A lot of strings to your bow. Change of bowler. Georgia Vole is in. It's a good start from Georgia.
I love an off spinner in Queensland. She didn't get the end. So she's bowling into the breeze. Should hold up a little.
That's a high one. It's up and it's just short of the fielder at point. Just caught a leading edge there. Let's take another look at this. So was it turn that she was beaten by there, Leroy? No, just maybe pace.
Yeah, and I think she also tried to play down the wrong line. She probably should have just tried to hit that back over the bowler's head.
That's a good shot again. Moving up the crease, up the wicket.
Oh, that's got it.
That hurts, doesn't it? And an overthrow too. So
that probably hurts more. Yeah.
No one likes to throw at the shins, do they?
No, not at all.
My hamstrings certainly don't like it anymore.
The shins are okay with it? It's just the hamstrings are the problem.
I'll just let it hit me now. Bit of extra meat on my shins. As Vole comes into Leroy, who steps up the crease and hits it hard, but it's safe. It was in the air.
I like this field that they've got set for Leroy. She does. You can see she really likes hitting down the ground, forward of the wicket, and they've just got their 4 fielders set straight. So it's a really good field, really good bowling.
Burton gets a look at Vole. There's a chance for a catch, and it's just short again. So how many times does that happen? Just a really close catch, but
Ruby Strange just mightn't be quite reading it. You know, having those catches just falling short all the time.
Partnership's quickly shot up. And that one's hit the stumps, not out.
Didn't get a hand on it, or she wasn't out of the crease, one or the other. The girls actually might be interesting how often they've played under lights. That could be another thing. They mightn't actually be picking it up as easily as you think. It is a different skill when playing under lights.
Yeah, I was going to say that earlier about how different it is to play cricket and sport under lights. This partnership up to 59 off 57. That's a pretty solid effort. Did she get a fingertip to it?
Well, she didn't appeal, so I'd assume that she didn't get a finger. She sort of half appealed, didn't she? Not really.
She wasn't overly interested, was she? So this looks like Clodagh. Ryle.
Well done. We've been panicking about that.
We have been.
Great name.
You actually had to make a phone call to one of your Irish friends, didn't you?
Just to check.
letting out the tricks of the trade here. I'm sorry. So it's Ryle. Play to Ryle, and that's a big hit. It's going back with the flight, though. Down there, the fielder should cut it off. Ellie Johnson. They get back for a couple.
Yeah, good shot there from Leroyd again, though. The team knows that she does like to go straight, so now they're dropping the fielder back at long on.
What have we got? Long off, long on.
Unfortunately, they're bringing up their...
They're long on, off.
Yeah, they've got mid-off up. Yeah.
That one's pushed through the covers. Just for one. So they got... What have we got? As we go back for the right-hander. Got long on, mid on, deep mid-wicket, square leg. Third man point, deep cover, short extra cover, mid-off. Goes straight to the mid-off there, pushed away for one.
Yeah, I think they've got their field right for Burton, but for Leroyd, they've just got it a bit wrong at the moment. They've got this, the deep third there, which they probably need to bring up into a short third and drop back their long off.
How much of this is the captain out there setting the field versus the coach having a word, do you think? As Ryle comes in again, it's pushed away to mid-off.
Yeah, well, once you're out in the field, it has to be the captain. But the captain and the coach, I'd assume, would have had a lot of chats about how, what bowlers' strengths are, what are their best balls, what are their variations, and if they've got any at all, and where they should be having them hit. Obviously, I don't know how much footage they've been able to see of their opposition. That's usually a little bit tougher in these sort of carnival situations.
So to Ryle with a slower one. It's no run.
But yeah, definitely. Once they get out there, and that's what I actually quite like about cricket is that the captain does have a huge responsibility, more so than most other sports. When they get out there, normally it's a little bit of just go up to
come off and have a spell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Play to Ryle into Burton. That's a fuller ball and it's uppish, but it's okay. They'll get through for one.
What I would have really liked to see, and I think it's probably more important than maybe in the BBL, is the tactical timeout in an underage format. I think that could actually be really useful for a captain and a team to be able to call a tactical timeout and have a real chat about if they need to, compose themselves or get some feedback out. And I just think that'd be a really good learning experience for learning captains, because it's never easy, and particularly at this age when you're still, you haven't got 100 games under your belt.
Yep. Well, there you go. There's a hot tip coming from Julia Price for the education of our young cricketers in the T20 competitions. Let's get a tactical timeout happening. So 2 for 73.
So Georgia Volp continuing from the Derwin end, river end.
It's uppish again. I'll get back for a couple here. This one should be cut off. Roche tried hard, but it just gets there.
Couldn't quite bring it back. You could see that she was trying to debate whether she should either dive or not dive. Burton now on 34 off 31. They've got to do something here. Make her do something that's not in her comfort zone. She does like to play fairly straight. We haven't only seen the one attempt at a sweep so far. So now they're just swapping it around a little. They've only got the 3 out, which is interesting. Trying to put a squeeze on it. And given. It's been run out.
Wow. Well, there's one for the books.
Well, the fact that they only had 3 out meant there was an extra person in the circle, so it did actually put a lot of pressure on the batsman. So fantastic work there from Queensland. Good captaincy from Charlie Knott. A little bit of a risk, and obviously thought it was worth taking that risk.
Let's take a look. She was backing up reasonably well.
Oh, a little pause
and a little
there.
hesitation. And the throw came in nicely from Johnson and given.
Yeah, so it was a really good innings there from Annika Leroyd, but has been given out, run out for, was she even out for?
She 32 off 41.
Fantastic.
Very solid partnership of 69 for those two. exactly what we said. The pressure was on at 2 for 8. And that brings out Alison McGrath. You're going to tell me that they say McGrath in Queensland?
Absolutely not.
So 3 for 77. A good recovery from the ACT New South Wales Country. Vol into McGrath. And well played. Just getting her eyes in. But they had 2 batters set there.
And it's interesting, the movement now. You see Queensland all up and about again. It's so easy how you can lose your way a little bit and sort of, you know, the partnership forms and you know the sort of tossing and turning of the game.
Full of ball.
So Olivia Roach there just probably should have tried and attack the ball a little more if she's at mid-on or mid-off. They know that they're running straight on those fielders. Needs to stay on her feet, not drop to that long barrier.
Ball to Burton. So the pressure's on Burton now to just stay in and anchor this inning somewhat. Get back for one. So that little hesitation probably cost Leroy.
Absolutely it did. Yeah. Real shame because it was a great partnership. Same time, I'm really enjoying watching Burton's innings as well. You can see that shot that she just played then, she rocked back beautifully onto the back foot, picked the length really nicely and knew what she was going to do with that ball once it was delivered. Good over there from Georgia Vol. It's just the 6 off it and a wide with a, is that a wicket?
That's a wicket, yeah, the
Who
run
puts
out.
a W there? But yeah, the run out doesn't go to her figures, unfortunately. But
No.
Good pressure bowling though, with just the 3 out, which really caused that run out.
Yeah. Ellie Johnson's been involved in everything. She's had a wicket and a run out now. As I say, Burton really needs to knuckle down and stay in and see this out, carry the bat for the rest of the innings.
Yeah, there's definitely a responsibility on her now. Particularly after you run out your leading run scorer.
Well, I mean, I was going to ask you whether you thought that was any particular person's fault. I don't think it was Burton's fault.
No,
I think
it certainly wasn't, no.
Hesitation, she's running to the danger end. I'm not sure who called. Oh, there's a real chance here at the bowler's end. And it was the wrong end.
Yeah, no, it certainly wasn't Burton's fault there at all. But at the same time, it's a good learning experience for them, and no doubt Mark Sorrell's, going to have that. Oh, not Mark Sorrell. Troy McKinnon will have that chat to them, and as with the group when they're doing their review later. But that's what's so good about this under-18 national championships is you can learn so much for your developing your cricket and continuing on from there. And obviously, just discussing where they were planning on scoring, that might have caused that little bit of a hesitation as Leroy maybe wasn't certain where Burton was trying to score her runs. And they're therefore a little unprepared for that quick single. But good lesson.
They were backing up, and maybe there was a hesitation from both, because we did see the hesitation from Leroy there, but she's in the sheds now, and a solid innings. She was 4 runs off about 18 balls there, and ended up coming back to 32 off 41, so almost even the ledger there. Did well. In comes Ryle. Burton swings hard, and it's not going to make the fielder down there in the deep, so they get through for 1 again. So after 14 overs, they're 3 for 79. When does the handbrake come off? When do you start looking to just slap it around a bit?
Absolutely now. So when you've got this many, generally what you talk about is having to be able to lose 1 wicket and over.
Right.
So they've got plenty of wickets in the shed. They've still got 7 in hand, and they've got only sort of 6 overs to go. They can really, unless of course maybe the lower order aren't quite as handy, which you would expect generally, but yeah, they should at least be able to bat down to at least 7 or 8. So yeah, to me they need to start taking a few little risks, maybe moving around the crease a little bit, either coming out or moving laterally.
Roll into McGrath. McGrath pushes this one to the offside and sneaks through quickly for 1. Gee, there's a chance there. Good backing up again. It slides through a couple. Get 1.
Yeah, just this little off-pace bowling I think can be really difficult. It's not super quick. It's probably around 100 k's an hour. And it can be quite difficult to really, because you've got to be able to create that force. That's what Leroy was so so good at, generating some good pace.
That one's a wide.
Good work from Muir there. Much better footwork.
Just take a look at this fella in the background here, wearing the black shirt and the grey pants, blending into the fence.
Cunningly disguised.
How good is that? He's incognito. Ryle into Burton. Burton rocks back onto that one and pushes it out to the deep cover. And that's the end of the over. 15 gone, 3 for 85. So reasonably expensive. I suppose only still 6 from the over. You'd be happy with that as coach, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, as we were saying before, around the average has been about a 130. In fact, was I think the highest score this tournament so far. So I'd assume going out there, they're going to have a figure in mind of what they would like to keep them under, and you'd nearly, it's got to be, as a batting team, you've got to be near, I would say, looking at a runner ball. So you've got to be looking at 120. As a bowling team, you're obviously trying to keep them under that. I would say nearly keeping them at the 100 mark would have been not unrealistic.
Vol to Burton, and Burton just again, almost as we've come to expect, rocks back and it's through for 1.
Now, both of these teams, as we mentioned before, went through undefeated in their round games and then both had a washout this morning, so automatically went through, so they're both nice and fresh.
Oh, that's out-stumped. Sharp work behind the stumps from Caitlin Muir, and that is the end of McGrath. She departs for 3 off 6 balls, and they are 4 for 86.
Yeah, beautiful work there from Georgia Vole, bowled in some really good areas, and Muir as well. She's been fantastic behind the stumps, particularly keeping up. You can just see batting out of a crease probably didn't help McGrath either, and she just could not get back in time. Always dangerous batting out of your crease to a spinner. But McGrath doing the right thing for a team. She knew that they've got to start going. She was probably sent in there in that role knowing that she had to hit. Just couldn't connect, unfortunately, but good work there from Muir, and well out in the end.
So 4 for 86 now. So the pressure again on Burton. And Abby Taylor comes to the crease.
Abby Taylor's actually got some really good runs. Against New South Wales Metro, she got 43 off 35, so she certainly can bat, and she actually kept them in that game. She was the top scorer for the team, batting at 8.
Right.
So they had a bit of a nightmare that game.
And a lefty too.
Yep, always good. Bit of change, which maybe not against the off spinner though.
So Taylor on strike. Vol comes in, pushes this one to the onside. She's off the mark straight away. A chance at the bowler's end.
She would have been out if that had hit, I think.
I think so. Would have been close, but yeah. This is another look at the stumping.
So she's already batting out of a crease, which is interesting in itself. Yeah, probably just got a little, probably just took her eyes off it for a fraction there, but got away with it. But good work from her. She's been quite tidy. Good shot.
That's a good hit. That's almost a 6. Been called a 6. Wow. Well, from where I was sitting, although it's just in front of the side screen, that looked like it might have just hit the top of the rope, but that's 6, isn't it?
That's a beautiful shot. Either way, I'd like to give that a 6. It was a very, very, very good shot. Great feet, went straight at the ball, hit through the line, which she has started to just hit across a little bit, then went through the same line of the ball. Forced Queensland to drop both back now.
That one snuck on too. That was a good ball from Vol.
Yep.
And they'll get back for a couple.
Yeah, beautiful work here from Burton. She worked that one nicely, but Vol bowled that really well. I think a slightly quicker delivery as well, which is normally going to happen once you get belted over your head. They're fairly predictable, the spinners. Yeah, a little dart. Yeah.
Vol in again.
Back up to the flighted delivery and out. Great work there from Muir. Beautiful stumping. Nice little bit of flight. Good courage there from Georgia Vole to be able to throw that one up when she's already gone for 1-6 this over. So fantastic work, and well battered though from Burton. 47 off her 40. She was fantastic today, particularly in that partnership with Leroy.
As you say, just courage there from her to step down the wicket. And she knew what she had to do, didn't she? So at the end of the 16th over, they're 5 for 95.
Yeah, she had some good flight there too. Georgia Vole got a little bit of shape, went away from Burton and probably went a little straight, didn't actually go to the line of the ball. So it was her undoing in the end.
Grace Dignan, the captain, comes to the crease. So now the pressure back onto the ACT. They'd be keen to get moving.
They've just got to be careful. We were talking about, you know, they've got a lot of wickets in hand, but they've just lost 2 that last. They've got to get to the 20 over mark. They can't just keep throwing it away now. So now it's when you sort of think,
Johnson into Taylor. Taylor slashes away at that one. They'll get through for 1.
so now you just got to make sure that you're getting through to the 20. You're having a little bit of a chat with the other batters that are in there at the moment. How are you going to get your runs? Is one person going to go and one person going to play slightly safer? But you've still got to make sure you're somehow rotating the strike. But you don't want to be not facing your 20 overs. That's just criminal.
Yes. Yep. So I guess the good thing is that Grace Dignam is out on the pitch, the captain. So you'd expect the leadership stuff as she squirts that one to backwards a point.
Yeah.
They get through for 1.
And that's a great shot. You can see straight away she's looking for that single. She's got really good intent. She knows there's a little space behind the wicket. As soon as the ball's wide, she can just get a little touch on that very, very safely and get the single. Minimum 6 and over a game at this stage.
Taylor on strike to Johnson. Johnson just pops that one up and Taylor hits it straight back to Johnson.
She's bowled beautifully today, Ruth Johnson, particularly in that 3 overs in the power play early on.
Yeah.
Good pressure. Started the rot really for those early wickets.
Johnson tosses that one up a chance, but it's popped down. I like the way she plays the cricket, Ellie Johnson. She's keen. She's got a smile on her face too.
Yep.
I love it.
She can whack him too. She's good bat.
Is she? Right.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that too. That one's high. Coming underneath it, and it's caught. Sharp catch down there by Julia Kavanagh. And Taylor departs for 2 off her 4. And 5 rather. And that is 6 for 97.
Yeah, great work there from Ruth Johnson, as I was just mentioning. She's getting some really nice flight. Just got it up there enough. Good revs on it. Came over the ball nicely. And yeah, Taylor just going a little bit of a slog on it. Couldn't connect properly and got a bit of a top edge slice to backward point. So well bowled from Ruth Johnston and well done, Queensland.
I've got my Johnsons mixed up.
There's Ellie.
Ellie, yeah.
Yeah, there's 2.
Two Johnsons. Yeah. Apologies. It's the commentator's biggest mistake, isn't it?
It is.
You're even trying to correct me too. Well, now momentum is a funny thing in cricket, Julia.
It is.
Who's it with? ACT? Johnson?
No, I would say it's absolutely with Queensland right at this moment. Mind you, if you'd asked me about 2.5 overs ago, I would have said ACT New South Wales were in a really good position to really drive it home. So Troy McKinnon will probably be a little bit upset with them throwing away this really good start that they have, but they've still got 3 overs left. They can still score. If they can get this to 120,
game on.
Which is absolutely, and they've still got 4 wickets in hand, and obviously Dignam's still in there. I'm not sure how Graham's been going, more of a bowler as Lara Graham, but at the same time still can rotate the strike around, just get that one. They'll still have the field spread, no doubt, with the 4 out, so there should be plenty of opportunities to be able to get those singles.
Kavanagh in from the southern end, river end if you like. She's bowled 2 overs with figures of 1 for 4. Wow. Shorter one, and it's worked to the offside. Nice shot. Beautiful shot by Lara Graham. Delicate.
Yeah, perfect shot. I mean, just didn't try and overhit it, just got a little, opened the face up a little bit and hit it behind the vacant spot. Did have a deep third back, but a very fine deep third. And with that little bit of pace on, this is always the danger that the ball can sort of fly along. And we're saying that potentially it was going to drain and dry up a little bit, this field, so it's going to get a little quicker as the night goes on.
Kavanagh in quickly. Left arm. That one just moved a little off the pitch. There's a chance of the bowler's end. Gee, that was out. If that had have hit, that was gone. Easy. But good running again. Pressure by the ACT New South Wales Country team.
Yeah, of all the people to hit and run to is probably not Charlie Knott, though. But they managed to get away with that just. But she would have been well short.
She was sharp on that too, Charlie Knott. Yeah.
Absolutely. She's one of the best fielders in this team, absolutely. And, you know, obviously a very talented cricketer as well. That's why she's in the heat and the fire squads for the WBBL and WNCL.
So a name to watch, Charlie Knott. And a leader too.
Yeah, she's also just been named in the a development team that's going to play a warm-up game, I think, CA11 on the, I'm going to say 27th of February. No, that can't be right. 27th of January, leading it for, going to play against the Australian team.
Coming up with a short one. Might be called a wide. It was.
Yeah, it certainly was, certainly was worthy of a wide call. Trying to dig it in, which is good, just not being too predictable.
No, why not? I like a bit of short stuff. So you're saying that Charlie's been named in a squad to play against Australia?
Yeah, so they're doing some warm-up games before the Tri-Series.
Nice shot there by Dignam. Out to the deep. They get back for two quite easy. Oh, there's a chance here. Just the throw wasn't there. Good running between the wickets by Graham and Dignam. Yeah,
good awareness by them. But yeah, no, the Australian team are playing in a bit of a practice game against the up-and-coming young ones. So, you know, brilliant. Yeah, which is down Hannah Darlington, you know, Phoebe Litchfield, Charlie Knott's been included in that. So, yeah, it's a really good young team that's going to play in that game before the T20 Tri-Series starts pre-World Cup. So much cricket going on. Catch that.
And it's a good catch too. Clodagh Ryle gets it. Right in the midst, diving to her left. Sharp chance, but it was well taken in the end.
It was. She's read that really well. There's been a few opportunities sort of around those mid-on, mid-off sort of areas that have just fallen short and haven't quite been there, but that was really well judged there. She's pushed in off the circle because she knew it wasn't carrying. Well done there from Clodagh Ryle. She's had a pretty good game so far, actually, as well. Bowled pretty well with the ball as well.
Kavanagh gets her second. Graham departs for 5 off 3. 7 for 106. Expensive over, though, so far.
Yep. Isabella Gregg now coming in for ACT New South Wales. He hasn't had too much of a bat, but Dignam's still out there, the captain. Needs to get herself on strike.
One's uppish. Get through for one at least. They'll come back for two. Good running again by the ACT New South Wales Country batters. One remaining in the over. $11 from it. Expensive.
Yeah. It's a little bit expensive, but that's going to happen in those death sort of overs. Yeah. You know, you know that they're going to start swinging. It's also a good opportunity to pick up some wickets as well.
That one's high. It's just going to land safe though. They get back for two. Gee, it's good running there by Grace Dignam. And that is the end of the 18th over. They're 7 for 110.
2 for 17 for Julia Kavanagh. For 3 overs. She's been bowling pretty good areas as well. Just the 2 overs to go. You can see they'll be eyeing off that 120 minimum. Should probably get a few more than that. If they can just sort of keep sneaking these 2s in, they're pretty quick between the wickets.
So Knott will take the penultimate over, as you'd expect. The figures of none for 13 off 3. Directing like a general down there too. I like it. Projected, according to the scoreboard, to get 122. Dignam hits it high, but it'll land safe. They'll come back for a couple here. A nice arm again out there by Grace Parsons.
Again, I really like the way Dignam got herself into a position there where she's pushed outside the off stump so that she can access hitting into the leg side. She knows that that's probably her stronger side, where she's going to get some power, where she might be able to get a boundary. So good, smart cricket there from Dignam.
Not into Dignam. That one's a wider one. Could have left that and had a free one. Oh, it's been run out. Dignam's gone. So a bit of a mix-up there was sent back by Greg. And the captain won't be too happy with that.
No, definitely not. Obviously didn't get the memo that they were going for some quick runs. And again, it comes down to a communication thing. And again, it's a good learning experience for the ACT New South Wales Country girls. Really wide delivery, probably not really ever heading off, and that has gone straight to a field up.
Johnson again.
So, yep, good one to chat about later in the change rooms, but certainly, every day's a school day.
So a couple of wickets in the sheds here, and out comes Sutcliffe. Gabrielle Sutcliffe, the right armour.
She's been having a pretty good time with the ball, not so much with the bat. And we're looking forward to seeing her in a couple of overs' time. No doubt taking the new ball, I'd imagine. Actually, no, she's not even out in the bowler. First change. She's getting some really nice drift. I like the shape of Charlie Knott, the way she's bowling and throwing it up still. Hasn't got a whole lot of turn, but the flight's really what's really making it difficult for these batters.
It's a nice cricket shot. There's a chance here, and gone. Well, Julia Price had a finger in the air before it was called out, and that spells the end for Isabella Gregg. She's run out. It's a rapid throw in as well. Let's take a look. It's a good shot.
It's Clodagh Rail again. Yep, she's been good in the field. But yeah, straight to the, and good decision there from the umpire as well. That's definitely out. Great work by Muir again behind the stump. She's been tidy tonight. And Greg run out for 4 off her 2. So we've our last bat in is Jade Allen. Hasn't had too many bats this championships, but they'll be hoping that she's going to be able to last about 8 balls. Make sure they get them right to the end of this 20 overs.
Oh, yeah. So, Allen. Brilliant bowling by Knott. Just giving a bit of width there, just enticing the player to step across and hit to that shorter boundary on the offside here for Allen.
Yeah. Particularly at this age, a lot of girls with their strength is on the leg side. They do find it hard to get that power through the offside. So it's actually not a bad ploy. Whether Charlie's intentionally doing that and just not turning back on her, I don't know, but it seems to be working well. So well bowled, Charlie Knott. She's none for 15 off her 4, so she's had a great day as captain with the ball. And it's 9 for 112, 1 over to come.
Wow. Well, we've seen the pendulum swing so much in this game, haven't we? Some solid innings from a couple of players in the early pieces of this game with Leroy and Burton, but not much else after them. That one's tossed up, gets through. Bowl will bowl out here.
Georgia Vol, 2 for 22. Looking for nearly picked up her third wicket. A little bit of an indecisive shot there from Sutcliffe. Tried to go the sweep, but it was a little fuller than she was expecting. I think it surprised Muir as well.
Ball to Allen. Allen steps up and then running through here. There's another chance of a run out, and she's well.
The umpire's actually given that out.
Given it out.
I don't know if they will claim that.
Yeah.
I think the umpire not out. Yep, she's
not out. Yeah. Well, great sportsmanship shown by Georgia Vol there.
And Charlie Knott, yeah, the captain went up immediately and said that they knocked it off before the bails off before they had the ball. Great work there too by the umpire, just changing the call, moving on.
Hardest thing in the world to be an umpire.
Oh, I know. I don't know why anyone would do it.
Get out there and do it if you're out there listening and want to be involved in the game.
I'm sure it's great fun, yeah. Yeah, no, we definitely need umpires in the game. And potentially a new commentator.
Yeah. Bowling to Sutcliffe. And that one's beaten. There's a big shout. This time, umpire McCabe says no. Yeah, that's... She knew.
Yeah.
She knew that, didn't
Absolutely.
she, Georgie Vol? That's a good ball into Sutcliffe, and Sutcliffe's off the mark. Just. They get through for one.
Yeah, all these little extra runs really going to count.
3 run-outs in a game is a lot, isn't it?
Well, I have to
In
admit,
an
at this
innings.
level, it probably isn't. I think it happens quite a lot. Again, they're all still learning and developing and understanding. They haven't played with each other a lot because it's a state team. Good shot.
A good shot. Oh, well fielded down there by Clodagh Ryle.
Yeah, she's been excellent in the field today.
Sticky fingers. What do they call that stuff that they put on your hands? Grippo.
Gorilla grip, yeah.
Duct tape. Vol comes in again. John's hit hard. Oh, gee. Real chance at the bowler's end, and then she's gone again.
That's the replay. This time it actually is
This
out.
time
She's
it
managed
is.
to have a little practice run before, but ACT, New South Wales Country, all out for 117. I think Queensland will be fairly happy with that. At the same time, it's scoreboard pressure, and they've still got to be able to get these runs, but they all run off congratulating themselves, and a good team effort, particularly with a lot of run-outs, but some excellent bowling as well. But some great batting as well from the ACT New South Wales Country girls, particularly with Leroy getting 32 runs off 41 balls, and also Burton at 47 off 41. That was an excellent innings, partnership by both of them.
A partnership of 69, so really turned the game. They were 2 for 8, and then the next wicket didn't fall until they were 3 for 77. So a solid innings by those two girls, and chipping in a little bit at the end just to keep the scoring over, but no one of real substance in that innings. So we'll check out some highlights. This is the first wicket. Davidson fell out, caught by Knott for 3. Bates was then bowled, clean bowled by Ruth Johnson. Here it is again from a different angle, just a chock on there, just right into the stumps, the base of the stumps, and you can tell she was upset. That brought Burton and Leroy. Burton was keen from the start, wasn't she? And smacked a boundary there. A good shot. And they put on 69, these two. Leroy got involved in the boundary action as well. It was a clever shot behind. This one was a chance little misfield there, possibly a run out. Nice shot there. It's a replay of that same shot.
It's a really nice shot, though.
Yeah, it was worth seeing again, wasn't it?
It was where the run-out collapses started to come in. So some beautiful work and good pressure there from the Queensland girls. Really putting the pressure when the ACT New South Wales New Country girls were trying to really lift the run rate, and they just couldn't do it. So great run-out there from Queensland.
Then Vol was introduced and a couple of stumpings here. Muir was doing some great work behind the stumps, but as you say, McGrath just batting out of a crease a little bit, which was interesting against a spinner with the keeper right up to the stumps and got stumped. Then Burton, who battled along for 47 off 40, got stumped. But you said very brave stuff from her on 47 to step up to the crease and try and smack that one out of the ground, but just beaten by Vol.
I thought it was quite brave as well from Vol to be able to throw it up there.
So there we go.
So left-handed Taylor here, caught by Kavanagh.
Graham got caught again by Ryle. Then we saw a flurry of runouts. This one was just a bit of send-back stuff, and then another run out with a hesitation and sharp stuff by Ryle in the field. Gee, that was close. A good throw over the stumps there. That's the wicket-keeper's dream, isn't it? And they were all out for 117, so Queensland will be chasing 118 to win. There's the scorecard for you. Top score of 47 from Kayla Burton. Top effort from her. Well helped along by Annika Leroyd. The best of the bowlers, well, everyone got involved, didn't they? 2 for 11 by Ruth Johnson. She was probably the pick, along with Knott, who bowled 4 overs for none for 15. 2 for 17 for Kavanagh was a pretty good effort off 3. And 2 for 26 for Georgia Vol. Rounds out the better of the bowlers. So we'll take a quick break here. Queensland in the Under-18 T20 Female National Championships final need 118 to win. Tubes Taylor and Julia Price will join you for the next innings in a few moments. Stick around. Welcome back, folks, to this Female National Championships Under 18 T20 final between ACT New South Wales Country and Queensland. The target's been set by the ACT New South Wales Country girls. It is 118 to win for Queensland. A target that potentially is around par. Tubes Taylor joining you on the commentary with the lovely Julia Price. Nice little break there, Julia.
It was. Got some water in. I'm adequately satiated and rehydrated, so it'll be good for this this exciting innings of this run chase to see if Queensland can chase down the 118 required. So we've got the ACT New South Wales Country girls ready to go in the field.
Ellie Johnson to open the account for Queensland. And it'll be McGrath to bowl from the Church Street end. Straight off the mark. Johnson pounds one through the covers, and she'll get two. Georgia Vole is at the non-striker's end.
And Ellie's had a pretty good carnival so far, coming second in the run scoring behind Annika Leroyd, ironically enough, who batted very well today as well, getting an extra 32 runs to her totals. But Ellie Johnston's 22, 71 not out, and a 52.
Little wider one just outside the line of off stump. No run.
And Georgia Vole's got the highest score of the carnival so far, with a 83 off 69 versus the Northern Territory, and also got a 43 versus Tasmania as well. So both in some pretty good form.
Fuller ball, and it's hit straight to the field, and juggling it and catching it at mid-on. Sharp work in the field, it bobbled up, and Ellie Johnson is gone.
She's just caught that on the toe of the bat, didn't quite get it, and it's good to see McGrath opening the bowling again for New South Wales Country, and it's just bobbled it up, caught it between the legs. Not the prettiest of catches, but they'll take it. It's out in the book.
Annika Leroyd, I think.
Yes, it is actually. Maybe a little weary from her her innings before, but fortunately for Ellie Johnston, she's out and replaced by captain Charlie Knott, coming out to bat at number 3. Charlie, again, hasn't had probably the best carnival with the bat. Got a 34 and a 42, but by her standards, she'll be looking for getting a lot more runs.
Never seen a blade like that before, with a big K on it. There's McGrath, got the wicket. Just bobbed up into Leroyd's hands, didn't it?
It did. I think she was a bit surprised when it came to that as well, because it just sort of just kept going. I thought it was just sort of a nudge down the ground.
McGrath into Knott. Fuller ball again, and that one's driven to mid-wicket, no run.
Good intent here already from the Queenslanders straight up, but also like there's a little bit of shape with McGrath's bowling. Got a 1 for 8 versus Western Australia. Hasn't had a lot of wickets, but bowling in good areas.
That one's full and it's pulled. And it'll run away to the boundary just. Oh, good effort down there by Annika Leroyd.
Good commitment.
Reckless abandonment for her own safety down there.
They probably don't get to dive on a field as this quality too often, no. So might as well do it while you're here.
It's like diving in the lounge room on the carpet, isn't it?
Good work there from Charlie Knott. You can see already that she's already got a short ball plan in position really quickly there.
Fuller one and driven just a backwards point. No run.
And a very different field here also set by ACT New South Wales Country with the 2 fielders behind it, a fine leg and a and a third man, which generally means that the bowler's going to be trying to bowl pretty much at the stumps. So yeah, first over down, 1 for 6.
Yes, that will bring on Abby Taylor by the looks of things. Potentially to bowl the right arm orthodox. This is what I like. I like this. Abby Taylor bats left-handed, bowls right-handed. The left arm, right arm combo. Taylor in, and they'll sneak through for one quickly.
Good running there from the two Queenslanders. Abby Taylor getting some good turn there. Didn't really see a lot of turn in the first innings from the Queensland off spinners. Taylor seems to get a little bit more rip than the Queenslanders, or the pitch is drying out maybe a little bit in that hour that we've had here.
Taylor into knot. Moving forward, a nice drive. A nice chase down there by Kayla Burton, who, as you say, Julia, could be a little exhausted after her nice innings of 47 off 40.
Really nice shot there from Charlie Knott, piercing the gap between the short extra cover. Maybe a little lucky there on that one. A little lofted one, but found a gap and has managed to hit it all the way through for a boundary. So good intent here, nice and early from the Queenslanders. Going out hard, trying to chase down this total of 118. Just managed to drop it over the top. Not the safest shot in the world, but I'm sure she'll take it at this stage. Good fielding from the ACT New South Wales Country girls. So a good little bit of turn and nicely tucked around the corner. Charlie Knott rotating the strike nicely, not too many dots. What you're looking for, probably what was missing early in the ACT New South Wales Country girls innings. They did just tend to have a few too many dots. Oh, it's well bowled. Beaten everything. Keeper's gone up, but it's beaten absolutely everything. And that's the end of the over. 1 for 14 after 2.
So 1 for 14 after 2. They've doubled the ACT New South Wales. This is the score. This is the previous appeal. Yeah, that one missed the outside edge by quite a way. And we've got a special guest stepping in for a few moments. Leah Purser. Welcome, Leah.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. This game is, it's nicely poised.
Sorry.
No, that's
I've
okay.
got your name wrong.
It's not the first time.
In comes McGrath again to Knott. So what's your involvement, Leah? There's a big shout, nothing doing though. I thought that one was probably a little too high. What's your involvement in this competition, Leah?
At the moment, I'm here coaching the CA11 team, and as well as that, I am the Cricket Australia High Performance Coach, which I suppose is a fancy name for someone who looks after female programs.
Well, Julia and I were singing your praises a little earlier about how fit these young ladies are and how much more cricket's put into that program as McGrath comes into Knott again, just defended to the offside. So you spent the time at this tournament, and where are you based?
I'm based at Sandy Bay, so I'm there with the CA11 girls, coaching those guys. So we've played 6 T20s and won 3, which I think is a pretty good start to the tournament for a young group.
Yep. Are you from Tasmania? You're Tasmanian?
No, I'm from Newcastle.
Oh, right. The industry town. McGrath into Knott. And smacked away. That one's going to race away to the boundary. Well, a loose ball from McGrath, and it got what it deserved. Charlie Knott
Yeah,
How'd you see that one?
that just skidded through on the fielder there. Should be disappointed with that. But I think all in all, the fielding at this carnival so far has been fantastic. I think it's been a real area of improvement. So yeah, should be disappointed with that one, but it probably is a little bit dewy out there.
Well, we've got good drainage here at Blundstone Arena. However, as you say, it's a little bit cold out there today. Not that one's down the leg side for a wide. Highlights of the tournament so far?
I think play to spin. I think that's been an area that we've sort of looked to improve on the last few years, and just the way that the batters have come and used their crease and been happy to go after the spinners at this carnival. Not so good for the spinners, but good for the spectators. And probably the other one is just the catching. I think that's been a real area of improvement as well.
McGrath into Knott, who's shot out to 15 off 10. Make that 15 off 11. So you move into, after this game, you move into a 50-over format in Launceston.
Yeah, that's right. We actually start tomorrow. So the
wow.
girls have got to back up and have a 50-over game tomorrow here in Hobart. So one round here and then, move to Launceston to play the remainder of the carnival.
There's a little festival going on up at Launceston at the moment as McGrath comes in with a shorter one. That one's caught her just on the top end of the bat, and they're going to ask someone to come out and check she's okay. I've just checked the ball.
Yeah, it's really well bowled by McGrath. Just hurried her up there. And Charlie Knotts, she's one of the more experienced players in this carnival, being contracted to the Queensland Fire and the Brisbane Heat. So not an easy batter to hurry up, but McGrath is well bowled there.
It's a good short ball. Just hit her in the noggin. As required, they send the physio and doctor out to just double check on her. She's given the thumbs up to the umpires, and they'll ask her a few questions. What day is it? What'd you have for lunch?
Yeah, she's a tough cookie, but that's got a flush, hasn't it?
Yeah, fair dinkum, right in the middle of the stack hat. So she'll be right. She's smiling. She loves it. So how long have you been involved in the high performance stuff?
For Cricket Australia, this is my third year involved, and before that I was involved with Cricket New South Wales. So been a part of the female pathway for a number of years now, and I sound like a broken record, but I think every year I sit at these things and say just how much it's improved, and it just amazes me how quickly the game's moved on, and as you say, it's the involvement that the states and the investment that they're putting into the programs.
McGrath into Knott, who's happy to let that one go through. So just the 5 from the over at the end of the third. Queensland are 1 for 19. So you're constantly seeing improvement in the youth coming through. Do you think that's because like trailblazers like Julia Price behind us here have cut the path, and Cricket Australia have put a lot more emphasis on development of the female game?
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. I mean, the superstars have always been there, and the Australian women's cricket team have always been world leading in the way that we've approached the game. Even before the dollar investment was there, the attitude and the professionalism always was.
That's a good shot again, but there's a fielder out there, so they'll just get through for one.
So yeah, I mean, the Australian women's team have always been great, but now, with the extra investment, we're just sort of seeing a real groundswell of talent, and just the programs that the girls are all able to cultivate their skills a lot more quickly.
Nicely worked by Charlie Knott, but no run there as it goes straight into Annika Leroy's hands. Abby Taylor continuing. What are the challenges for these young players as they grow up in Australian cricket, do you think?
Oh, look, I think there's it's not just women's cricket that's made some great strides over the last few years. It's women's sport, which is fantastic. So these girls will no doubt be talented athletes in a number of different sports. So I suppose the first choice for them is to what do they want to be dedicating their time towards. But look, cricket's a viable career for them now, so at least they've got that option if they choose so.
Taylor with a fuller one, and that one's hit straight to the ACT New South Wales Country captain, Grace Dignam. No run. One's just squeezed to the backward point. No run again. So a little bit of pressure building here. Just the 2 runs off it. 1 for 21. They need 97 off 96 balls, the Queenslanders. So after a nice strong start, Queensland maybe just in charge a little bit, but they need a partnership.
It's runs on the board in finals, isn't it? That's always provides a little bit of pressure. They probably thought they were maybe 15, 20 runs short, ACT New South Wales Country, but runs on the board in a final, it's probably worth that. So game on here.
Change of bowler coming in. It's Lara Graham, who just gets worked to backwards a point again. No run. Well, you're right. And ACT New South Wales Country won the toss, Grace Dignam, and she said at the start of the game, we'd like to set a total and defend. So you're right. Finals time, you want the runs on the board. You know what you've got to do in the field. The pressure then goes on to the batters. Knott's on strike, and she hits that one hard, and it's caught at cover. Sharp effort there. Great catch by Abby Taylor at the covers. It went fast, it was well hit, and Knott departs for 16 off 18. And Queensland are 2 for 21.
Yeah, you can see how disappointed she is there, Charlie. She sort of whacked the ground as she strode off, and that's a really big wicket. She's a key player for the Queensland group, so well caught at cover. And that's another area of this tournament that I think's been a real area of improvement, is the catching. So
big wicket. That brings Ruth Johnson, the big hitting Ruth Johnson. She will be on strike. So the danger player not gone for 18. Big wicket.
yeah, and another big wicket here. Ruth Johnson's a really promising young batter, known for her power play, and probably had a bit of a lean tournament with the bat by her standards, but no, she's a great player, and another big wicket here.
That one's going to be a wide. Well, the game of cricket can swing, can't it? I thought Queensland were probably looking okay there, but now they're 2 for 22, the old Richie Beno.
Yeah, it's probably, you know, you wonder if that short ball on the helmet just rattled Charlie a little bit.
Fuller ball, and Johnson's off the mark.
So one of the things these girls have got to look forward to is an Australian under-19s tour that's coming up. The Australian boys are away at the moment playing a World Cup in South Africa, and the girls have their World Cup at this time next year. But before that, we have a under-19s tour to South Africa against England, and a try series there. So
Brilliant.
Shot.
That is a good shot. Georgia Vole hits a boundary and relieves a bit of pressure. So you're off to, you go away with the side, do you?
I do, yeah. I'm lucky
Brilliant.
enough to coach that team, so that'll be a really nice trip to go on.
Excellent.
But yeah, it's obviously this is an under-18s carnival. That's an under-19s tour. So there's a few other players who are involved in the WBBL and the WNCL who are also in contention for that. But there'll be a good number of players in this tournament who are in contention.
Are you involved, like as a coach, are you involved in selection there? Have you got any insight for us?
I have a small say in that. Yeah, I do,
right.
yeah.
Right, okay. Someone from Newcastle, got anyone up there in that area? That
I don't look at that.
right,
I don't look
okay.
at that at all.
Yeah, sure, right. Me neither. So Graham comes into Vole. That one again down the leg side. So 3 runs here for Queensland. We've got 7 off the over so far.
I really like the field that ACT New South Wales Country got set there. They're sort of squeezing in on the ring, making it really tough to get up and down the wicket. That dot ball pressure coming into play here. So good captaincy from Grace Dignam.
We were talking about that a little bit earlier about once play gets underway, the pressure of how to set the field and where to set the field really comes down to the captain, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, there's a big push, I think, in all teams that the bowlers must take, a bit more responsibility for their fields, particularly in carnivals like this where the captain may not know, who their bowlers are leading in particularly well. So I think, it's a one for the bowlers to pick up a bit of responsibility as well. But you're right, it is a lot on the shoulders of young captains.
Abby Taylor continuing, and that one's beaten Ruth Johnson. Taylor again, that'll be buys. I don't think that hit anyone. Doing a long chase down there is Alicia Bates. Nice left arm throw in too. Julia Price is calling for a tactical timeout in this age.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. Just for coaching purposes.
Yeah, no, I agree. We actually have it in the under-15s carnival this year, exactly the same way as what's being done in the BBL. But yeah, I agree. Julia Price, the Oracle. Taylor gets smacked away by Ruth Johnson, and she's known to be a big hitter. When she hits them, they stay hit. That's gone for 4. And I think what we've seen in the BBL it's not just the coach coming out and sort of telling the players what to do. It actually gives the players a chance to kind of take stock.
Reset.
Just to have that little bit extra time to have a conversation, even talk to the coach, bounce ideas off, and then come up with a plan on their own.
A little bit in some of the recent games as Taylor continues in for Johnson. No run there. In recent games, I've seen that the batters are really in the zone, because it's up to the batters to say, we want a timeout. And they've been in the zone, and you can tell that they just don't want to take it. But they're forced to take it. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, look, I definitely think it takes momentum away. Anytime there's a break in play, if you've got momentum, it goes against you.
Shot. Brilliant shot. Just square of the wicket, out to point. And it races away to the boundary. So Johnson's got her eye in now and starting to feel a little confident.
But it's one of those things, I mean, it's quite new, and the more that you get used to things like that, you develop some routines and some strategies, and you come up with your own plan about how to deal with those things.
Yeah. Forward and defends. So 10 off it, including 2 buys. After the 6th over, that's the end of the power play. They are 2 for 38. So 13 runs ahead of the ACT New South Wales, where they were at the power play. The issue here, I suppose, is that Charlie Knott's in the sheds, and they've got 2 wickets gone, but looking pretty steady. Graham with 1 for 7, and McGrath with 1 for 11. Cricket purists probably don't like the thought of a timeout, do they?
I think what people class as cricket is changing. So the game's changing every year, and I think the game that we knew 10 years ago will be very different to the game that we see in 10 years time. So I think it's one of those things. It's just the evolution of the game.
Graham continuing, and that's squared him up. Julia Price had a finger up behind us.
It looked tight, didn't it?
Squared up there was Vol. It's very, very tight. Maybe down leg. That's the reverse angle.
It looked tight. Probably one of the things these girls aren't quite used to is batting under lights. It's probably the first time they've done that. So just under lights, the ball tends to slide on a little bit, so I'll have to look to play pretty straight here.
And there you go. Right on cue. Georgia Vol sends one straight and sends it to the boundary. Hits the rope easy.
Yeah, that's a good shot. She's in good nick, Georgia Vol. She's having a good tournament with the bat. And, that's a classic stroke.
Is Lara Graham getting a little bit of movement through the air here? Maybe my eyes have been playing up on
You got better eyes than me.
Yeah. I think that LB was very close, but maybe just sliding down leg. Just.
She's brought a change in the field. They've pushed mid on back as a result of that stroke. So that's good batting by Georgia Vol just to get another one out and relieve a bit of pressure.
That one's an inside edge to square leg, and there's a chance at the bowler's end as it comes off the batter. They get through for one. So as high performance manager at Cricket Australia.
High performance coach. You've given me a promotion.
Coach. Well, just trying to pump up your tyres a little bit, Leah. But are you involved in purely their fitness as Graham comes into Johnson? Or is it a lot of different things as that one's squirted behind square for one?
No, it's the development as a whole. So fitness is one component. Also their skill development, their tactical development, the mental approach to the game. So, we try and provide holistic programs that, give them skills in every facet that they'll need in order to make it to the highest level.
And how deep does it go? Are you just at this sort of level as Graham comes in again and that one's defended nicely?
No, so I go from, so the under-15s is really the start of the high-performance pathway.
Yep.
So the under-15s carnival will happen next month in Canberra. And then I take the team right up until Australia A. So I've just been away with the Australia A girls in Brisbane and on the Gold Coast. We had a series against India A.
Graham again, a nice full ball, and that one's driven back by Vol for one. So they're rotating the strike nicely here, Ruth Johnson and Georgia Vol. And that's the end of the 7th over, 2 for 45. And you're coaching the under-18s that are going away to South Africa.
So this team that I'm coaching here at this carnival,
yes,
it's an exciting group. It's the girls who were selected from the under-15s carnival last year. So at the end of the under-15s carnival, we select a group of 24 kids who will then come up to play in a games-based camp up in Brisbane at the National Cricket Centre. And at the end of that camp, we select a squad of 14 who then go on to play in the under-18s championships the next year. So this group that I've got, they were the best performing in their own age group, and the idea is that we bring them to the age group above and let them have a crack against girls who are a bit older, a bit more experienced, and see how they go. And
so mainly 15, 16-year-olds.
Got a couple of 14-year-olds in there as well, yeah. So they're doing really well. As I said, they've won 3 from 6, so they're certainly holding their own.
Alicia Bates, the left armour, in from the river end. That one will be called a wide.
Had a contract with the Sydney Sixers this year, Alicia Bates.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. She didn't get her first cap, but was certainly around the training environment and no doubt learn a lot from being involved there.
All these young humans achieving so much at such a young age makes me feel really self-conscious. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Such great opportunities for them, though. I mean, to go and spend time with the likes of, Elise Perry, Lisa Healy, and then the, internationals, Marizanne Kapp and Dane van Niekerk. So I'm sure she learned a lot from being involved with those players.
Bates again, bowling nicely. Bates into Vol, work to the onside, no run. So you're off to South Africa. You've been there before?
I have been, yeah. We went there 2 years ago now, or almost 2 years ago, with the same group, Australian under-19s, and that was a great trip. We had a couple of household names on that one now. Taylor Vlamink, Annabelle Sutherland, who's just been picked for the World Cup.
We've mentioned her already
yeah,
today.
Georgia Wareham was on that one. Oh, well done.
Well fielded down there by Gabrielle Sutcliffe.
So yeah, that's a really cool program to be a part of, because you get them sort of when they're still developing.
Before they're cool.
Yeah, before they're cool. They're still not cool. If they're listening, you're still not cool.
Taylor Flamick's cool. She's a Hobart Hurricane. I'm a Tasmanian, you see, Leah. So I'm just going through your squad here and having a look, and we've got Amy Smith from Newtown.
She's cool.
She's cool. Well, there you go, Amy. You've been given the tick of approval by your coach. Bates in again. And a solid over from Alicia Bates. She's just had the 2 from it. They're 2 for 47, so putting the clamps on a little bit here, the ACT New South Wales Country girls.
Yeah, that was a tight over, and the other thing it did, it really rushed them, didn't it? I reckon she got through that over in about a minute and a half.
Really
so
quickly.
Yeah, it's handy to, especially through this middle period, to sneak as many through as you can.
Well, we appreciate you coming up and spending a bit of time with us, Leah. Apologise that I got your surname wrong.
Oh, that's all right.
Horrible scrawl. I tried to write it down as quickly as possible.
This is definitely the best view in the building, this
Isn't
one,
it?
so I'm happy to be here.
Up in the David Boone stand. They've got you in Sandy Bay, a nice little suburb on the western shore. Have you enjoyed your time? Do you live here?
Oh, I don't live here, no, but I've come down a few times this year, so
Okay.
I'm
well, once you've been twice,
honorary.
you're an official Tasmanian. As Sutcliffe's getting her chance from Church Street end, or the northern end. But we'll let you. I'm sure you've got something you've got to do.
Oh, I'm going to go watch the rest of the game. It's,
yeah, feel free to stick around and have a chat with Julia Price if you want. I'm really enjoying the game all the same.
I'm going to put Pricey back on because she's the expert. Yeah.
She knows. A lot of the stuff that you're saying we've already mentioned, which is Sutcliffe in here. That's a good shot to the onside. They'll just get the one. But I'm going to have to start calling Julia Price the Oracle, because she's, whatever you're saying about development and high performance, she's already, it's come out of her mouth. So
she knows the system pretty well, Pricey. She's been involved for a lot longer than I have, so she probably knows more than I do.
And Bangladesh is next as well. Will you get a chance to go there with the World Cup as Sutcliffe comes into Johnson, and Johnson drives and it doesn't beat the fielder?
Yeah, I'll definitely be on that one. I'm excited about that. I've never been to Bangladesh, so it'd be a great opportunity for those young players to go and test themselves in the subcontinent.
That's the first ever World Cup for under 19 girls.
Yep, absolutely. So the boys have had their under 19s World Cup going for some time, but this will be the first female under 19s World Cup.
Bangladesh, what a place to visit. And Sutcliffe into Johnson again, and that one squirted away. Nice shot. Might have been just off the leg. It's called runs. Well, clever stuff from Johnson. So you're really trying to get out of here. I was going to give you to the end of the over if you like, but I mean, you could.
I'm just thinking how great these girls will think, playing in a stadium like this, you really get great value for your shots. So they'll love that, a little tickle off the hip before runs.
Brilliant. Sutcliffe into Johnson, and she's bowled. Great comeback there by Sutcliffe. Gabrielle Sutcliffe takes the wicket of Johnson, and that is a big wicket.
That is a great ball too. Maybe a little bit of angle in, maybe a fraction of shape there too, but that was a really good ball. That'd get most players.
Well, Ruth Johnson.
Here it is again. We'll just see if it just tails in. Yep. Sort of pitched on off and took middle. That's great bowling from Sutcliffe.
And wow. 3 for 52, the Queenslanders now. Still in front on the run aggregate. However, wickets in hand now. It's a little bit behind.
I might have to get. I think I'm unlucky. I've got to get off here. No. Since I've been sitting here, there's been wickets falling left, right, and centre.
Well, I was about to ask, where does your allegiance lie? Is it just with cricket development? Is it with New South Wales because you're from the Newcastle area? Or
oh, look, I spent a lot of time playing for New South Wales and coaching there, but in all honesty, it is for cricket development. I just come to these things and hope to see really good skills, and we're certainly seeing that tonight, and it'd be nice if it's a really tight game as well.
So that brings the keeper, Caitlin Muir, who was very sharp behind the stumps tonight.
Yeah, she caught well, Katie Muir. She was involved in a number of dismissals.
So the final ball of Sutcliffe's over, and the final ball of Leah Poulton's commentary. No, I won't say career, but because that one's forced away and Muir's off the mark. This is just a quick look at the wicket before you go, Leah. We'll get another look from side on here. Stay low? Maybe no, just good straight through the stumps. And
I think she just got beaten by shape there, Ruth. It didn't look like she did too much wrong. She got well forward and
a double finger.
Yeah, it's a
wind
good
up
celebration,
as well.
wasn't it?
But all the best, Leah, with the tour to South Africa and Bangladesh as well. Thank you so much for popping up and joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me. I'll put Pricey back on.
That was Leah Poulton, high performance. Thank you so much, as that one's just smacked away again to the onside. They'll get through for just one.
So the wicketkeeper, Caitlin Muir, already out there. Oh, a little bit uppish.
Oh,
Looks like it's carried, and that could be Georgia Vole with a sort of a top edge, sort of slice to backward point, gullyish.
what a catch.
So she's just asking one of the players if they think it carried, but she's walking off at this stage, and I believe she's been given out. A little bit of a wide delivery.
Oh,
And that's
a
carried,
catch.
yeah.
Yep.
That's a great catch.
That's the sort of catch I would never take. How about that? So Georgia Vole departs for 14 off 20, and they are 4 for 54. Well,
That's what they're saying, this run at the scoreboard pressure.
well, they often say that 1 makes 2 and 2 makes 3 in T20 cricket. So Bates gets her first wicket.
Kira Holmes is the replacing bat. So the reason why Alicia Bates obviously got a contract with the Thunder this year, was it Thunder? Sixers. Sixers. Probably need to get that right. You know, obviously quite a talented player, and there are so many young girls that are not necessarily going to get a game in their first year of being contracted, but they certainly get the experience and the training with all those senior players and everyone around them, and start understanding what an elite athlete needs to do to be successful in that.
Another wicket falls, and 1 makes 2 and 2 makes 3, and that is the end of Kira Holmes. She departs for naught.
Yeah, caught it cover, just didn't wait for the ball at all, just wanted to hit straight through it and hit it straight down the throat. That's a classic dismissal there at extra cover. Taking a great catch. But it's great when a plan comes off, and Alicia Bates no doubt will be very happy with that. So Queensland really need to rally here.
That was Taylor, I believe, that caught that one. No relation. Well, Bates has got 2 in and over.
Yeah, we'll just say it was funny because Leah was just talking about the play to spin this year has been so much better, and you know, just then we sort of saw 2 reasonably soft dismissals to a spinner.
Grace Parsons arrives at the crease. Oh, beats the bat too, and she's got 2 for 3. Bates, and she will be delighted. Alicia Bates with just the 1 run off the over, and at the 10 over mark, they are 5 for 54.
Well, ACT New South Wales Country were in 2 for 55 at the 10 over mark. So at this stage, you'd put ACT New South Wales Country ahead, particularly on wickets. Just depends a little bit on the depth of this Queensland batting lineup.
Gabrielle Sutcliffe into Muir, and that one's down leg side, if you ask me.
Sutcliffe, 6 wickets, going at 4.71 economy. She's the leading wicket taker for this team. 7th in the overall carnival.
A little bit of strapping on the elbow. A little bit of, we mentioned Taylor Vlamick before. See a little bit of Taylor Vlamick in Sutcliffe. Gabby Sutcliffe as she comes in. Just a little bit of similar action. No? You're not seeing?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll get back in my box, Julia.
Probably about 20 k's, 30 k's slower.
Pace-wise,
Shot.
that's a good shot. It's going deep and it's a good effort, and that's what you've got to do in T20 cricket. You've got to make the effort to try and hit and a great bit of fielding down there too. I think that was Grace Dignam, and there's a chance for a run out.
I think that actually was Jade Allen out on the out in the boundary out there. So went for the catch, which was a great effort in itself, and then I think we'll get another look at it here.
It was a good hit, good shot.
Good hit. Fortunately for her, didn't quite get onto it as much as well as she could have. So it just fell short of Jade Allen there.
Yeah, you're right. Well picked up. Maybe I should have been the one having a break there while we had Leah Polton in the room. As they come back for a couple here, the Queenslanders.
Not afraid to go aerial, the Queenslanders, which is great. There's plenty of space out there, but you know, at 5 for 58, it's a little, you know, heart and mouth sort of thing.
Yeah.
Not sure how Mark Sorrell's coping there as coach on the sideline.
Fingernails gone, you reckon?
Absolutely.
Nice straight action from Sutcliffe, and that's a good shot. Beautiful stuff by Muir. Finds the boundary.
It's a lovely shot. Even with just a slight bit uppish, but has scored a few runs, 29 off 20, so likes to go pretty quickly off the CA 11 and 31 not out off 21 versus Northern Territory. So has had some runs, and she's going to need them. You know, Queensland certainly have still got a fair bit of work to do.
They've got what they need off the over so far, and that's a no ball called there, Sutcliffe, so they'll get 2 plus a free hit. They're doing that in this level?
Absolutely.
Yeah, brilliant. That's the rules, I suppose.
So the good thing for Parsons is, you know, she's not off the mark yet. It's always nice to have a free hit when you haven't actually scored. Gets you swinging, gets you in the groove. You can have a bit of a freebie.
Yep.
It's only like the old backyard rules, isn't it?
I talked about the backyard rules last night with the Cricket Tasmania Premier League T20 Grand Final here. My favourite one was Auto Wiki.
Ah.
Did you ever play that one?
Absolutely.
Free hit, and that one's gone deep and well fielded down there by Jade Allen.
So there's always this debate though, because I completely understand automatic wiki.
Yep.
But for some reason in Queensland we used to call it electric wiki.
Really?
I know, like, because if you touched it, if it hit back there, you're going to get electrocuted and you'd die. So
well, we do know this about Queenslanders. They are different.
I'm not sure if Tasmania can talk.
No, well, we're different. We love our differences down here. So that is the end of the 11th over. 5 for 65. So a healthy over there for the Queenslanders. And it'll be Bates to continue. The danger player. Gee, it's straightened on nicely and well played by Parsons.
I reckon my favourite rule was one hand, one bounce.
Oh, I love that too.
Because I reckon, and I'm now speaking from a coaching point of view, it really encourages people to make sure that they're staying down over the ball. They've got to take it into account that, you know, people don't think about getting caught all the time, but when it's one hand, one bounce, you've got to get it bounced twice. Yeah. So you've really got to make sure you nail it, you know.
The opposite of that is indoor cricket, isn't it? Where you want to hit it into the ground. That's slashed away. Nice shot again through the covers. This one will race away to the boundary. Parsons finds a bit of confidence.
Yeah, just a bit of a wider delivery there from Bates, but really good footwork. Nice high back lift, hands over the ball and hit down through the ball. That was a really nice shot. Good control. No one hand, one bounce there.
No.
Good control.
No, that's the shot you're after in the backyard. Parsons on strike again, just uses her wrists nicely, but that one doesn't beat the fielder.
She's got a hint of the indoor cricketers about her, this Parsons. I'm not sure if she has played indoor, but she does look like an indoor cricketer the way, even particularly that sort of little run down to sort of backward point there.
It's another one of those bats with the K on it. I'm not sure.
It's Kipax.
Kipax.
Yeah.
We talk a little bit about brands when I commentate the Shield cricket here of bats. Bates again, no run. What did you use?
I was a kookaburra.
Right.
Yep.
What variety of kookaburra?
Oh, good question.
Did you have a few different ones?
Yeah, I did have a few different ones. It was sort of whatever was, you know, the pretty colours.
Yeah.
Something technical, you know.
We always, on the northwest coast of Tassie, we always loved the kookaburra bubble. If you had a kookaburra bubble.
Yeah, I did have a bubble. I wasn't a big fan of the bubble, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it just didn't have a meat in it that I sort of liked. I needed as much meat in it as possible.
So the required run rate now out to 6.1. So they need 49 of 48. So it's doable for the Queenslanders. But the issue that they've got is wickets in hand. They've only got 5 left.
And Isabella Gregg, change of bowler at the Church Street end. It's picked up 1 for 13 versus New South Wales Metro and 1 for 20 versus Vic Country. Right arm mediums.
It's a little bit shorter as a loosener for Greg.
I like the way Muir, she gets in position really quickly, picks up length very quickly. So that crossbat shot can be very destructive. Just can't err short to her.
That's a better ball. It's popped up and beats the fielder just. They get through for 1.
Generally, when you see a shot like that, they're normally still, they've got a shot in mind, and that ball wasn't the shot that they were sort of hoping. So no doubt she had in her mind that short ball. So they really was sort of hoping another short one would come and hadn't really got the plan ready for that slightly pitched up ball.
Through the action they're thinking.
Yep.
That one's just snuck through. No run.
Well, both of these players, though, seem to be, you know, swinging, good intent. They can hit boundaries, which is always a bonus. So they're doing a pretty good job at the moment. Good partnership of 16. Oh, that's out.
Snuck, and it's gone. Parson caught behind off the bowling of Greg. And they are 6 for 70. Parsons departs for 5.
Great areas right there. You can see that Parsons wasn't really just getting behind the ball. Her feet weren't quite going as well as she would have liked. That first shot was her best one that she moved on, but this one just got a little bit straight with her feet, straight back. Tried to create a bit of space and hit it behind the wicket. Good tight line there from Isabella Gregg, and a great catch by Timms. They're the ones you want to get as a wicket keeper. So Queensland now 6 for 70. Certainly in this game, plenty of time. Just need to start putting together these partnerships and obviously stopping the loss of wickets.
Well, that's what's going to cost Queensland, isn't it? Loss of wickets. We saw in the earlier innings that potentially the run-outs might have been the danger for ACT New South Wales Country. Ruby Strange at the crease, the new batter. So 6 for 70. Greg's got 1 for 1. It's worked away nicely. Down to the third man.
That's exactly what you want from for a new bat that comes in, just to work that one, get the set batter on strike. Not that Mares, she's only faced 10 balls, but it's 12 runs at the moment. But looking positive.
One's on the toes and it's worked away. It's a deep mid wicket for 1. And a rocket arm in again. I've been very impressed by the fielding. And that is the end of the 13th over. A solid one from Greg. She gets 1 wicket from it and just the 3 runs. 6 for 72.
Yes, the required rate 6.6, very gettable. Current run rate though is 5.54, so they do need to just keep working around these singles, getting the odd boundary here and there just to make sure they're ticking it over. But great work here, good bowling from ACT New South Wales Country. We've got a change of bowler.
Jess Davidson.
Yep.
She'll bowl from the river end. That's the target there. Runs to win 46 off 42 on your screen. Davidson into Muir. That's a wide one. No. Alexandra Timms at the back in the keeper's position.
So I like the footwork of Timms. I think she looks really good behind the wicket. Good lateral movement. Yeah, good reach, good gloves.
You've got an affinity for keepers, though, haven't you? It's Davidson into Muir. Muir hits, doesn't beat the fielder at mid-off.
Yeah, they're always forgotten, the keepers, so I always have to try and have a little mention in there.
They're always the ones that are the most vocal, though, aren't they, Julia?
Well, it's important for a wicket keeper because they're sort of central to it all. They're also closest to the batters, so if anyone's going to hear anything, they're the ones that are going to hear it. So.
And the microphones at the stumps too. You've got to be careful of.
Very.
They're on strike. Wider one, and that's slashed away. It won't beat the fielder sweeping out there at deep cover. And a solid bit of fielding down there again for Alison McGrath. Strong arms out there from a lot of these fielders.
Yeah, it's a good sized boundary today as well. It's good to see. I like it when they do put the boundaries out a little bit further. And WBBL, and even BBL, they tend to put a restriction on how big the boundaries can be. And I just like the size of it now. It encourages that running between wickets, not just your ones or fours. There's twos and threes that also can be run, which I find is another good skill we're losing in cricket at the moment.
Strains gets her first look at Davidson. That one's wide and it's pushed to a very similar position. Maybe a little squarer of the wicket than the previous ball. 1 run.
Good intent though. They're hitting them around nicely.
Not sure Jess Davidson really needs the zinc.
And there's a few of them that had the zinc. I don't know. We noticed that with McGrath when she opened the bowling too. I was going to say something, but I thought no.
Cloud cover.
Give her a break.
No, I
but
like
now you've brought it up. Let's go on.
I like it. Davidson into Muir. Muir slashes at that one again. There's a couple of fielders out here, so it won't get to the boundary. They will get back for 2, and they get back easily in the end. Good running.
Little variation delivery there from Davidson. Looked like she tried to drag her fingers down the ball, little off cutter or slow ball.
You know why I like it? Because it's part of her routine, I imagine.
No doubt.
There's plenty of cricketers that used to wear zinc under lights at the Gabba or the SCG. Why not do it at Bell Reef? Some might say because it's been 12 degrees. Davidson comes in again. But I like it. Make it part of your routine. Make it part of your look. And that is the end of the 14th over. 6 for 76, just the 4 runs from it.
It's interesting, they always in America, the baseballers and the NFL guys, they wear the black underneath. Is that something about reflection?
Glare,
yeah. Maybe they should invest in a little bit of that, maybe if they knew they were playing under lights.
I think maybe it's because they have such high cheekbones and you can see your cheeks maybe with the reflection off the cheeks. But I never understood it. I always used to think it was just to look tough. Like you got a couple of black eyes.
I remember Chanderpaul used to even have sponsors or writing or whatever in his.
Tattoos, maybe. Greg will continue to Strange. That one's wide, but slashed that and beats the bat. Did you ever play baseball at all?
I played softball when I was at school, yeah.
Right.
I didn't start cricket till after I finished school, so I played softball through my high school and primary school.
It's a game that's maybe getting a little lost in Australia now that...
In Australia, absolutely.
Cricket can be played by everyone, regardless of your gender, as that one goes to third man for 1 run.
Yeah, the USA, though, it's big.
Massive.
Yeah, very big. It's on TV all the time. It's probably the equivalent of our women's cricket.
I spent a little bit of time earlier last year in the US and just relaxing by the pool when they had a TV on and I asked them to put some sport on. There was a lot of softball. They're playing a lot of softball. And they can throw it.
Oh, yeah.
Greg into Muir. Muir hits hard and it's high over the top just. And it beats Leroy and goes to the boundary. So much needed boundary.
Yeah, absolutely. Muir's doing a great job. Kayla Muir, 20 off 17. Just a little bit high risk. Just needed to go through with the shot a fraction more. And they had their tallest fielder pretty much at the mid-off boundary. Oh, on the circle, sorry.
Greg again to Muir. Muir drives, doesn't beat the fielder at cover.
Looking for that gap. Just couldn't quite hit that fielder out on the sweeping boundary. Looking for the one after hitting a 4. It's a general rule. You don't want to dot up after hitting a 4. Want to be able to get off strike, continue the momentum.
That's a good shot. Won't beat the fielder down there. They'll just get one. How much influence do you think the scoreboard has on the girls here? Because there's a lot of information on that scoreboard here at Blundstone Arena. It's got the run rate, the current run rate, the required run rate, the DLS par, the sundries, the overs, the balls to win. All that stuff is on there. You reckon that plays into the game a little bit?
I think it definitely would, because they're not used to having that. Plus, they're seeing their name up there as well, which would be very exciting, I'm sure.
Oh, Greg, again, she's bowled really well.
6 off that over. Yeah, no, it definitely, there's a lot of information up there, but what we need to do is the coaches and potentially the captain, would you, as a batting team, you'd be trying to filter out majority of that information that's on there, but the only thing you really need to know is what your run rate required is.
Yep.
So how many runs you need to get every over. That's what
Yep.
you need to know as a batting team. As bowlers, you've got to stop getting distracted by your own figures. Potentially, if you've had one bad over, you know, it can really put you off. And one bad over might actually be, you know, 2 edges for 4, which, you know, isn't necessarily your fault. You might be bowling in really good areas. It's just a little bit of luck. So you've got to be able to also be able to focus mainly on anything under the, as a fielding team, anything under the required rate, every over you get that, that's a win for you.
Yep, yep. Well, luckily we don't have the live stream replays up on the big screen. That might be a little distracting.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how many of the girls, you know, applied a little bit of makeup and foundation and mascara today.
Put mine on.
Going on to that, to go on the TV today. I know the WBBL girls absolutely do it. Got to look your best if you're going to be on TV.
Well, I know that the BBL boys do it too. There's some very well manicured beards and things out there, and haircuts and shaved in eyebrows and stuff on the boys in the BBL, so why not? And it's just a fantastic initiative from Cricket Australia to have it live streamed so that some of the girls can watch, or their families can watch back home. Great stuff. Unfortunately, they have to listen to me. Davidson on to Strange. Strange drives, but again not beating that inside field of the captain, Dignan.
But it's also a really good tool for these girls, because they're going to, you know, a lot of these girls are the future of WBBL and WNCL, and they're either live streamed or on TV. So it's a good experience for them to have it now when it's, you know, not critical for premierships. And I know it might seem like that for the under 18 girls at the moment, but you know, the big stuff is when they get to seniors. So all this they're doing right now is practicing for when they hit it in the seniors. That's a great shot.
Brilliant shot by Strange. Probably the best shot of the innings so far. That was just a beautiful cricket shot, and it raced away to the boundary. And again, a much needed boundary.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad ball. It was just, it actually cut in a little bit short. And she's actually played that on the front foot as well, which was interesting, but hit down really nicely over the ball. Good control again. And just the sweeper, just hit it straight enough for the sweeper not to be able to get it
She hit
cut off the boundary.
Firm too. Davidson into Strange. How does Davidson respond? That's a good ball and a good shot. And just for one wicket, well fielded down there by Annika Leroy.
Yeah, well, obviously Strange is really favouring that front foot. So wouldn't mind seeing Davidson maybe adjust her length a little bit here and go a little straighter. Try and just get it a little bit tighter on Ruby Strange.
Partnership now up to 18 off 19. The run rate though has snuck out to, or the required run rate snuck out to 7.2 with 1 ball remaining. Muir on strike, shorter one, and the Oracle Julia Price has called that one, and it's copped her in the breadbasket there.
So a good win there for ACT New South Wales Country. Just the 6 coming off the over when they were requiring 7.5. So that's going to keep pushing that required run rate up all the time.
That was well called, Julia Price. Just in the breadbasket there, and that one hurts.
Yeah, I was probably more hoping that it would be to Ruby Strange, not to Mare, but the short ball. But anyway, she wasn't expecting it either, so good to keep changing up, not being too predictable.
So in comes Alison McGrath from the Church Street end. Ruby Strange on strike.
She's got a hint of the Danae Veneerkerks about her, the way she looks.
Well, I made the comparison of Sutcliffe to Taylor Vlamek. I meant in the action, not necessarily the pace.
Yeah, I'm just saying just how she looks.
Looks, okay, fair enough.
Because Veneerkerk's a leg spinner, so she doesn't look anything like that.
There's a chance for a run out here, and good running. Got to run those risks, I suppose, at this end.
Absolutely. Actually, I thought that was really good. I mean, she may have taken a fraction long to decide that she was going to run, but you can see that they know that they've got to start upping it. They've got to do it. They've only got 4 wickets left, so they can't lose wickets, but they need to make sure that it's sneaking 7.6 now. It's sneaking up all the time. Once it gets to those 10s, it gets a little bit tough at this level.
That's a good hit, and
Shot.
that'll race away to the boundary. Chasing it uphill there was Annika Leroy.
Yeah, Mare just likes it that little bit short of a length. She likes to go a little flat bat on these balls. She likes to generate a bit of pace. Loves it that area. That's right in her zone. Just got to get it a little fuller for her, a little shorter for Strange.
How well would these two sides know each other? Just from the tournament, essentially, wouldn't it?
Not very, yeah.
No.
They were playing in 2 different pools, so...
Yeah. That's another good hit. It's high and it's under and it's caught on the double catch. Leroy with a hand over her mouth saying, I've double grabbed it a couple today. And she takes the catch. And that spells the end for Caitlin Muir.
Yeah, 26 off 23. Unfortunate for Queensland. They were just starting to have that momentum shift in their direction, but beautifully bowled. Bowling to her field was Alison McGrath. Just came on, pitched it up nicely so that it was more difficult to hit squarer and straight down the throat of Annika Leroy, who had a little second grab at it, but took the catch.
I think it actually could be Lara Graham out there. Apologies. The 2 blonde girls with the ponytail over their number there got me all
Graham,
caught.
yep. But yeah, great work and great bowling areas. Slight adjustment from McGrath there. Well bowled. Queensland 7 for 93. Still requiring 25 off 21 balls.
And a little misfield there. So they scurry through for 1.
Yeah, ACT New South Wales, and really make sure that they get this one-touch fielding. Don't want to be too many misfields because it's an easy single every time.
Riles at the crease.
So Clodagh Ryle, save you there.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to. Didn't want to look silly after calling poor Lara Graham Annika Leroy.
So Clodagh Ryle, the only left-hander in this Queensland team.
Interesting.
Be interesting. It messes a little bit with these bowlers' lines. Or lengths, possibly.
Called a no ball. We'll see a free hit here.
So that's her 1 warning as well. Obviously not meaning to do that.
So how does that work? The 1 warning. If she bowls another one like that, see you later.
Pretty much. I'll have to have someone else finish the over off.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a tough school.
That fella in... Apologies. And that one's bowled. It's not out though.
Well bowled on a free hit though. Well bowled.
Yeah, brilliant comeback. Let's take another look at it. It was called not out because it was a free hit after a no ball. Beautiful piece of bowling. Clodagh Ryle just in all sorts there really. McGrath's got the zinc on too. Like it.
Yep, that's probably what she should have done.
Well, she's got an opportunity to run through it now. Not many people get that chance, do they?
No, absolutely not. It's an interesting
In-game.
stance she's got, Clodagh, I have to admit.
The old George Bailey style.
Oh. Yeah, no, it's the opposite of George Bailey, though. George is normally facing cover somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. The bloke in the side screen's actually moved. What's going on here? He's got the pants.
How are you even seeing him? I can't see where he is. 7 for
Camouflage.
95 after 17.
So 7 off the over. They need nearly 8 and over to win here. 23 off 18.
Yeah, they've got to look for some space. Minimum 2. You can get 2s if you're looking, because there's plenty of space around the place, and they've got 3 out on the leg side, deep square, deep mid wicket, and a long on, as well as a sweeping cover.
No one backwards the square here. As that one gets through, Taylor is the bowler. Bowling in hats too. I like that too. I like something different.
It's not really that different in women's cricket.
Isn't it?
A lot of flyaways. Girls need to keep the hair out of their face.
Of course, of course. That one beaten the keeper and the batter.
Good little bit of turn. I think she's bowled pretty well, Taylor.
Yeah, well, she's into her 4th over, none for 18.
So now to the left-hander, makes it a bit interesting. Got to adjust it's going to come around the wicket now to the left-hander to take it away.
So in comparison, after the 17 overs, ACT New South Wales Country was 6 for 97. Queensland 7 for 95. So very close. So they get through for 1 there again. So they need 15 off this over to get on to par with what ACT New South Wales Country were at the same stage in their innings.
Well, it's a good final. It's great.
It's tight. Taylor in again, pushed away to the offside. They'll get through for 1. They very wisely get sent back. It's a strong arm out there. I think that might be Graham out on the boundary.
And the problem with these two, I mean, Strangers hit 1-4, but they've got to find a boundary somehow. Both of them aren't really big hitters.
Well, we're down to our 9th wicket, aren't we? So the 9th player in.
Yes.
9th in. So the number 9's in. Not necessarily known for hitting boundaries as Taylor comes in to roll. And it's gone high, and it's up. Sutcliffe's under it, and she takes the mark. Right in front of her eyes there. Got the Dukes out, extended, to borrow a football commentary term, and they're 8 for 98.
Yeah, great movement there from Gabrielle Sutcliffe. She moved really nicely to get in position there, immediately dropped back over her left shoulder. Didn't take her eyes off the ball once, so very impressed with her in the field. Yeah, that's a good mark.
She got right underneath it, which was the key. And as you say, great movement. Gave herself every opportunity getting her arms up over her head if she needed to go with that second grab. And Taylor gets her first wicket.
It's a key position, that mid-wicket there, because you can see that she's at the moment, if you have a look at the field, I'm not sure if we can get that on the screen, but you've got the long on and you've got a mid-wicket, and at the moment that straight mid-wicket is splitting those two fielders. So what happens if the batter's trying to obviously hit that boundary in between the two fielders on the deep, and in their way is that person at short mid-wicket. So they've got to make sure that they're really on the ball, cutting off anything and taking the catches when they need to.
That brings Kavanagh to the crease, and Strange sends her quickly across and retains the strike. So after 18, the Queenslanders are 8 for 99. There's the target, 19 off the last 12. So it is doable. Yeah. Problem is, we're down to number 10.
Absolutely. So Graham coming back on, going at 7s at the moment. That's not going to be enough. Going to have to try and manufacture where they're going to get these, at least a boundary and over minimum. if not 2, just to take a little bit of the pressure off. And this is what they batted first.
Yeah.
ACT of New South
to get
Wales
the runs
Country.
on the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Greg is the bowler. She's going for her 3rd over, so she's only going at 4.5.
Oh, Greg's coming on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they quickly changed that. In she comes to Strange. Strange swings hard. Well, if that was hit, it was staying hit because she was put everything into it. She's probably the key here, Ruby Strange.
Yeah, well, she's the senior batter.
I said before the game that is the name of a famous person, Ruby Strange. Character in a Bond film. Strange again, swinging and missing. Good bowling here from Isabella Gregg.
It's good work there by the Queenslander. You know, with Kavanagh coming down and just having a quick chat to Ruby Strange, get her back on track. Just probably stepping a little straight for those wider deliveries. Can't get anything on it.
Such a mental game, isn't it, cricket? As Greg comes in again, that one's a little straighter. It's worked to cover, no run. Your concentration is really tested, isn't it? Even as a commentator, you've got all this information around you, but you've still got to concentrate every single ball. Otherwise, you'll miss something, or you might not see exactly what you've got to see. As Greg comes in again, Strange steps across her stumps, and that one's flicked away. Classic cricket shot. Classic T20 cricket shot, I should say, just to move across the pitch, give herself some room, get inside the mind of the bowler a little bit.
Really good. She's got a good plan here. You can see straight away she's moved and kept herself nice and still so that she could actually get herself outside the stumps. One, if she gets hit, she's not going to be out LBW. But secondly, she can now access leg side a lot easier and play across the line. Greg is bowling in a beautiful area at the moment.
Yeah.
So she's really forced that Ruby Strange to do that. Oh, dear.
Tries the
sure
same
she
thing
initially
again.
did that.
She stepped across and then back, and they're coming back. Are they? No. Oh, she's sent back. There's a chance of the bowler's in. Umpire Hamilton says no. Well, 5 off the over. 1 ball remaining. Need a boundary. Does she try the ramp shot, Kavanagh, for her first ball?
We haven't seen too many ramps, actually.
No.
It's something that still needs to be developed at this level. But yeah, she's bowling in some good areas.
Greg. And that one's a dot. So a solid over from Isabella Gregg. Just the 5 from it. And the target now is 14 off the remaining 6. 8 for 104.
So
How about this? Look at that. Look at the sun going down. We've got
beautiful.
one of the oldest casino in Australia over there, just on the right of screen. Come on down, visit Tasmania if you're out there. Beautiful place. It never rains.
Alicia Bates going to bowl the last over 2 for 7 off her 3, so understandably why she's
Why
bowling.
wouldn't you go to her?
Good captaincy. Using a
2 more wickets,
different
that's all
bowling
we
options.
need, says the keeper, Alex Timps. It's a fuller one and well played and well bowled. They can smell victory here, the ACT New South Wales Country girls. Bates into Strange, that will be called a wide.
That's pretty good. I think she saw that Ruby Strange wanted to come down the wicket there, so threw it a little bit wider. Unfortunately, just a fraction wide. When I say threw, she bowled it. She didn't throw it.
One's not hit as well as she would have liked, but it,
The right idea.
yeah, rotates the strike. 12 off 4. They need 3 every ball now, which is tough.
It's tough. So with the mid-off up, they're obviously encouraging them to try to go off of that sort of side. That's sort of an area that it isn't as, oh, and that'll do. Little neck.
Just the one. Importantly, it gets Strange back on strike. Oh no, they're coming back for two, and there's a chance. No, the throw was just over the top, and she was home.
A better throw would have had her then, but extra 2 runs onto the score. Still need 10 from 3.
The boundary here makes it very interesting, Julia Pross.
Absolutely, and we'll see that. I think that's Taylor, is it?
Gee, that's a rocket.
Gets it in. Just a little bit of a bobble there.
It was closer than I thought.
She did look like she was struggling a little to get back, but I think that extra bounce from the throw put Tim's off a little.
They need a boundary. Well, they've got one. So they need 9 to win, 8 to force a super over. Bates has bowled so very well. Two to come. That one's high, and Bates is getting underneath this one. It's caught. So Strange departs for 18 off 23 balls, and they are 9 for 109.
It was really well bowled there from Alicia Bates. She's bowled in some really good areas. Has really stepped up, and you know, as a contracted player, you can really see that, you know, she's got that confidence about her and a good air around her. And all those girls are going to be learning from her and picking up on that. Great work from Ruby Strange too, just quietly as well. I mean, coming in at number 8, 18 off 23 in a high pressure situation. So Olivia Roach now coming in. Unless they get a couple no balls here. That's out.
And it's out, stumped. What a way to finish the match. The ACT New South Wales Country Girls are victors in the Female National Championships for the Under-18s T20 Carnival. After bowling Queensland out for 109, they win by 8 runs.
Yeah, great work there from ACT New South Wales. They only got the runs on the board early, obviously, but Alicia Bates bowled this really nicely. Good action, good flight. Obviously, not too much that Olivia Roach could do about that, trying to hit a 6 off the last ball, which was required, and even then it was probably not enough. But and beautifully taken as well by Alexandra Timms behind the stumps for stumping for her. So great work. 4 for 12 off her 4 today. Wow. From Alicia Bates.
What a great spell of bowling. 4 for 12. Unbelievable stuff from Alicia Bates. Listed with the Sydney Sixers, of course, as the tractor brings the covers out and the girls shake hands.
Who's your player of the match, if you had to pick one?
I'm going to go with probably Kayla Burton.
Yep, I'm the same.
I mean, the wickets of Bates are big, but in a match where the highest score, well, the nearest score is 32, and after that it's 26, I think getting runs on this wicket is obviously a fairly solid effort. So
yeah, absolutely.
What about you? You with me there?
I'm with you as well. I also think that the ACT New South Wales Country, it was a great team performance as well. So sometimes it's really difficult on the field. So I know that there were 4 wickets to Bates, but the team performance, you know, the captaincy was fantastic as well. You know, really got her changes right with the her bowling changes and when to bring people on and when to hold them back. And the bowlers just bowled really good tight areas.
So this is Ellie Johnson's wicket. She fell, caught.
Charlie Knott.
Yeah.
Really nice. Looked good and got out a little softly, unfortunately for her.
Yeah, she did look good, Charlie Knott, out there. She looked dangerous, is the word I was going to use, because she was just hitting some good balls, as we see here again, another 4.
Yeah, good intent. But in the end, got out to a good catch there by Taylor from Graham. Another good stroke. A lot of good cricket shots today, which I really liked. It wasn't too much slogging today. It was really, really nice. Really good shot there from Ruth Johnson over mid-off's head. Hitting nice and straight. She batted well for her 14. Lovely Georgia Vole. Her on drives today were magnificent. She did had a great bat as well. 14 off her for 20, and a beautiful ball from Sutcliffe there that just got straight through Johnston. She was looking dangerous as well. Can hit it.
That was probably the ball of the day for mine. That was a beautiful delivery.
Yeah, tailed in nicely. Alicia Bates here. Just got a bit of a wide ball edge, yeah, not the best one, and then just about next ball straight to extra cover. This is where Queensland's little downfall. They had a lot of wickets in a row, and they tried to Kayla Burton really tried to work hard on getting them to the total of 118, but they just couldn't get there. A little fine edge there to be caught behind by Timms. Straight over the top, nearly caught by a long off, mid-off. Couldn't quite get there, but beautiful shot there. That was a shot of the day from Ruby Strange. Hit that boundary. She battled well at the end of this innings as well, trying to get there, batting from number 8. Caitlin Mayer down the throat of Graham. Had a little bit of a juggle, but got there in the end. Clodagh. I can't even get her last name right. That's the easy bit. Ryle. So we've got those crossbat shots. Great catch there from Alicia Bates. And just to finish it off, a nice little stumping to complete her 4 for 12 today.
And the girls are down there watching and celebrating on the big screens in the dugout down there. Congratulations to the ACT New South Wales Country girls, repeating the Under-18 Female National Championships T20 final. Goes the way of the ACT New South Wales Country women after winning by 8 runs. Well, that spells the end for the T20 Championships. The girls now move on to the 50-over format of the game, Julia Price.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Obviously, the T20 format, it's something they play a fair bit of, and 50-over, you know, longer game. A lot more things can happen in a 50-over game, and it'll really show who can bat a lot of time, which bowlers have got that endurance to be able to bowl their 10 overs, and it'll be interesting. Particularly, we've got World Cups coming up in the next few years as well. Yeah,
very interesting to say the least. Of course, the Under-19 World Cup happening next year in Bangladesh as well. Well, that spells the end for our broadcast here from Blundstone Arena. Julia Price, thank you very much for joining. What an honour it's been to be sitting next to such a legend of women's cricket, Australian cricket, and all the best with the BBL Heat.
Thank you.
As assistant coach up there, how do you think they're going to go? You'll
I
sneak
think
into
they're
finals?
doing pretty well. I think they won't sneak. I think they'll make it quite easily into finals. They're doing very well. AB's now turned up and having a great influence on the group already. So it's been really good.
Well, brilliant stuff. Repeating the ACT New South Wales Country win by 8 runs here at Blundstone Arena. My name is Tubes Taylor. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll watch the presentations down here, but that is it from us here in the commentary. Thank you very much for joining us.